401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
All ticketing options for the 2026 Love Nebraska season are now available. Single match tickets start as low as $16, even cheaper if you want to bring a group. Don't miss your chance to see professional stars like Jordan Larson and Lexi Rodriguez in action this season. Purchase your preferred ticketing option today by visiting lovneb.com/tickets.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
For Sean Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
The savings continue all November long at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln. They're extending their red tag sale with machines priced at invoice plus $300. That's it. No freight, no setup, no extra fees. Plus 10% off snowplow kits, 10% off fly motocross gear, and 50% off all in-stock road tires. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for the holiday season.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome in. It is a cold, gray Monday here in the capital city, but that is all right because we have some incredible news to talk about today. Welcome to it. It is Old School. Austin Norman here to my left, your right if you're watching on stream. Former Husker 8-year NFL vet Jay Foreman, back from the great beyond. Jay, long time no see. How are you?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Oh, you know, more of the same.
More of the same?
More of the same. What would you say? Same old soup, just reheated?
Same old soup, just reheated. You know what time it is.
It's time to thank the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
That's right. Every type of meat, every type of cut. Go in there and ask them what's up. They'll tell you.
They know what's up. They've never not known what's up.
I know they've been on point ever since they started to get it popping.
Shout out the Mercado. Reverse shout out to Farley. Tried to talk junk just as soon as he walked in. Like, it was on site for him.
It looked like he had a big old Mercado beef stick in his mouth.
Would not blame him for that.
Yeah.
Would not blame him at all. 402-464-5685 if there's anything on your mind. Husker fans, we'll get to some of what Matt Rule said. We'll get to Nebraska's 6 o'clock Central kickoff against Penn State coming up on Saturday in the short turnaround before Iowa. But, Jay, some more developments in the college football coaching carousel. We spent a little bit of time talking about that on Friday. But the first development is out of Blacksburg, Virginia. Virginia Tech wants a decision from James Franklin today.
Oh.
Today. They want resolution today.
Ooh.
That's what they're telling him.
Today?
Today.
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 Is that Tudday?
I would say Tuhday.
Hey.
Day.
Exactly. Hey, you've been put on notice. You think you sweet? You think you're gonna long play as player? Oh no,
sir.
Well, yeah.
We got the power here.
But here's what I would ask though. Would you even want him after that? You kicking you around here twiddling your thumbs and playing, rock, paper, scissors, or doing the whole like when they used to have a rose, she loves me not, this, and this, and then you had to bring up another one if it got to she loves me not. You really, Virginia Tech, you really doing this right now?
If you haven't gotten yes already, you're really going to keep waiting?
Right.
No.
When you could call down to Columbia, South Carolina and get a better phone call now.
Hey, how about that?
Right? Come on home. Listen.
30.
Listen.
30 and a half.
Listen. Don't worry about that 27-point lead. We knew what was that's your potential. We're okay with that right here. Come on home.
From The Athletic, one person briefed on the situation told The Athletic on Friday that Virginia Tech staff members had been told by school officials they hope to have a resolution in their search by Monday. Franklin, meanwhile, has been surveying the landscape of what is already a busy cycle of hirings and firings. 12 Power 4 jobs are open, including Florida, LSU, who we will get to momentarily, and Auburn in the SEC. But, Jay, Virginia Tech's other candidates, if they're going to move on from James Franklin, say, nope, you had your chance. You didn't want us. We're moving on. They have looked at John Sumrall from Tulane and Bob Chesney from James Madison. And per The Athletic, they are prepared to move on from Franklin if they cannot strike a deal soon.
Those two are Kirk Signetti specials.
Mm-hmm.
And especially your boy Bob Chesney. And what's the singer? Kenny Chesney?
Kenny Chesney.
Are they related?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Kenny Chesney, that's he a Tennessee Vol fan, right? He wore that
I
little
assume
hat.
so.
Yeah. Anyways.
Bob Chesney, Kenny Chesney.
They got to be kin.
They are not immediately related, at the very least.
But he's doing a great job at James Madison. They're accelerating his path to Power 4 based off what Kirk Signetti did, but they forgot that Kirk Signetti did it about 5 other places the same way. Right. Not taking anything away from.
Well, and Chesney did too. So he was in the NEFC with Salve Regina. Took him from 6-4 to 9-2 in 3 seasons. Went 6-5 his first year at Assumption in the Northeast 10, and then 11-2 by then. Then at Holy Cross, they were 5-6 when he took over, and then 12-1 in 2022. His final year at Holy Cross, he was 7-4 when he got hired away to James Madison. So he's done it lower level.
He's done it not to the magnitude, but
exactly.
Now that he's at James Madison, they think it's something in the water. And he's a good coach. I mean, I'm not taking anything away. But more importantly, back to James Franklin. It's either you want to go to Virginia. They had kind of been connected from the very beginning. So there has to be some sort of, some fabric there. But if you're waiting this long, it's like Virginia Tech can move on. I mean, James Franklin will coach again. It doesn't matter where he wants to coach again. It's just interesting it's taking them that long. I mean, the Virginia Tech's, I think, a sneaky good job. I think you got a really good you got to get back and take players from Old Dominion and all that, and some from James Madison, to be frank.
Yeah.
But you got a great footprint there. I mean, they have done wonders in Newport News. You got to think Bruce Smith, the best, pass rusher of all time, all-time leading sack leader from there. like the Michael Vick and all those there at Norfolk, and you can go and build a dynamite team in the ACC right now.
And just go 300 miles each direction.
Right.
And you're good.
But I'm saying that team that you could rebuild very quickly, as long as you have the financial support and all that, all this stuff, and you got to expect that. There's nobody in the ACC that you think that you don't think you can't beat. I mean, I'm sure Miami is very talented, but are you really scared of Mike Norvell in Florida State? How long will Bill Belichick be there? And then who else? Louisville. I mean, Jeff Brom let you know, listen, after he gets his name mentioned out there, he's definitely going to drop an L.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson, sure. Okay, but you're in the mix. Then you're James Franklin.
Breaking news. Sources, Virginia Tech and James Franklin are finalizing an agreement for him to become the school's next coach. As of 5 minutes ago.
You just need
to push over the finish line.
You just need a little bit of nudge.
You're welcome, Virginia Tech fans. All right, so let's assume that's official. What do you like about it?
I like James Franklin in that area of the country. I feel like he's always been a really good recruiter. So I think that, immediately whoever goes to Penn State is in some trouble as far as recruiting. He's a really good recruiter. He's done a really good job of developing. He's had a really good, for the most part, coaching staffs. I think he's turned it over too much and always kind of like, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem versus, you know what I'm saying? Like always a new coordinator and all that. I think he probably needs to sharpen up on some stuff as far as, he had the run in with the young reporter about why you weren't throwing it deep. James, I mean, that's it. But those are little things. But I think also he has to look at why coordinators have turned over so much. Now, is it offensive philosophy? Is it your philosophy? Or is it a little bit of both? But everything else, I think he's a big enough name, has the energy. I think he's going to be out for vengeance. Now that he sees the team now, he probably is glad he left the way they played. So he was able to, it's not all his fault. But, ultimately, I think he's in a really good position to really make some noise. I think he's coming in take Mario Cristobal out. Like him, Brom, those guys, they're coming in right at the really good time with their age and some of the guys aging out. So those three coaches, and you can think Dabo's like probably 4 years max there, Clemson?
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying max. He's had a terrible year this year. So 4 more years after that.
How long does it take him to find the exit strategy?
Probably about
4 years, you think? This day and age? If it's another bad year next year, it's 2.
Then it's 4 days.
Right, sure.
Well, I'm saying 4 years. Say you have a comeback here and all that, then you're like, all right, you know what?
You get to 9.
We seen you win 11 games enough.
7.
Now we think we can go get Nick Saban somewhere, right? I mean, so
right.
About 4 years in, so you're coming in on the right turn. So I like the match. I like it. I like that match for James Franklin because I think he got a little bit of a raw deal at Penn State. I mean, I think it was a little bit too quick. Now, granted, he earned some of that by some of the other stuff, but I think also they were on him and were looking for a reason, in my opinion, to fire him maybe even last year, but they went on that run. So that was a little bit of fool's gold, kind of like the Dallas Mavericks maybe, in basketball, if you want to look at it. Like you make that run, then the expectations are astronomical the next year.
Right.
And then, Luka's gone, so is James Franklin. So I think it's a good match. I think it's better match for him than Florida. I think they're kind of LSU, I probably wouldn't. If I was him, I wouldn't touch that. Just
you know where Jed Fish is an alum of, right?
Florida. I know that. I knew that. I've been knowing that. Because he was talking to me about when we beat the break. I used to always remind him about that.
Good.
Yeah, we could have hung 80 on you if we felt like it. We were just being nice. Yeah. So look, they like their coaches with visors. Lane Kiffin or Jed.
We have some updates on the Kiffin situation. We'll get to that here in just a sec. But good thing for James Franklin, Jay, is that his longtime defensive coordinator, Brent Pry, is available.
All right, man.
Can you imagine if James Franklin hired Brent Pry to be his defensive coordinator? Hey, hope you didn't sell your house.
Hey, bro, what's happening? I'm just getting into town. What you doing? Oh, I'm just chilling. You want to grab a beer? Yeah, man. Hey, man, you know what, man? You comfortable here, right? He's like, yeah. Kids here? Yeah.
Yeah. You like the school system?
Let's just run this back one more time. Let's show them how we do this. Why not? And nothing.
Better chance of getting him than Tom Allen.
Nothing would surprise me And you know what? Was it Bud Foster stayed for a while, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well, Bud was the interim.
yeah, he was an interim, but then did he stay after?
Yeah, he stayed for a few years.
Yeah, after, right?
Yeah.
Under another coach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it can happen. I could see it happen. I don't know why it wouldn't. Maybe he's better as a coordinator.
I tend to think that's the case.
Yeah. So hey, why not? Just go back in your wheelhouse. You tried it, and maybe you need to get more experience and then go back at it. But you seen this the ex UNO player though, right? Point shaving.
Oh yeah. The problem.
You basketball players. Football players can't do it. You too worried about getting your head knocked off.
You coach basketball, you know that, right?
Yeah.
So,
but my dude, they know better.
So you play.
Well, you know what? Now I think about it. We was in a big tournament. I saw some cats. They was a lot of handshakes and dap ups. Yeah, I wonder if I had a couple guys that said that threw the game or two, man. Because I had one kid travel. I said, bro, you just ran like you was in like 10-yard fight or something, man. This ain't football. He's like, did I travel? Yeah, you traveled.
Yeah, you traveled.
Yeah, yesterday, today, and the day after.
Speaking of traveling, the Kiffin family hopped on a plane headed for Baton Rouge. Lane Kiffin, not believed to be on the plane, but LSU flew a private jet to Oxford to pick up members of the Kiffin family to show them around campus in the town.
But where's Lane?
Lane is in Oxford with the team.
Hey, that's the most
supposedly.
Lane thing ever. Yeah, you go. Let's go. Well, you know what? It is a family decision for him.
It is.
And you got to give him a lot of credit, man. I know he's a little quirky. I don't understand. I don't know if I'm the head coach at Nebraska, which I'm not. But if I don't know if I'd be going to hot yoga with a bunch of co-eds before the game. But that's Lane. That's it. It gets him in his mind right, and that's everything. And and I know he's keeping everything above board, and I think he's there with his old lady and stuff. But it's a family decision because he's been able to kind of get his life on track to where he's very happy. He's very happy. He's happy. He's not even content. He has his program that he likes and he does, and Ole Miss is right there with him.
Giving him everything he's asked for and more.
Everything he's asked for and more. He's got his brother down there. He's got other family in the house that his parents, were living in. He's got his ex-wife down there, and they seem to have a really good relationship.
Their kids balling at Oxford High.
Yeah, the kids just starting. So I mean, it's a lot. It's a bigger decision. And he said, I think on McAfee, that he's never made a decision for money. Now, you never make a decision for money because you grew up with money.
Right.
Okay. So, but I also can tell you, he's probably had chances to have very lucrative jobs and could have jumped ship multiple times. And so I'm sure he's just going to send the family and take a look-see. Probably just showing LSU enough respect. If you can convince them, then you can, if you can get through this layer, then you can talk to me.
Rumor has it they were also in Gainesville yesterday.
His family?
The family.
Dang, Lane. Yeah, that's a little. Yeah.
Get the options. Do your homework.
You know who did that, though? His agent.
Oh,
his agent set that up.
Oh, yeah.
His agent set that up. But, you got to do what you got to do.
Ben in Lexington says, but seriously, why would you leave Ole Miss if you're Lane? If he wins 9 or 10 games a year with the occasional run to the playoffs, he has a job for life.
No. Schools like Ole Miss, it reminds me of Glenn Mason in Minnesota. He was doing that, putting a ton of guys in the league, developing guys, winning 8-9 games in the Big Ten for Minnesota back then was a huge task, and he was very consistent. Then they wanted more, but they didn't have the support. Eventually, if they get there, they're going to want more. They're going to expect more. Rightfully so, but let's be honest. As long as Kirby's there and all that, you just ain't going to be running through nothing. And now Texas A&M, so it's just because somebody's going to turn over in leadership.
Yeah.
So
president, AD, whatever.
So then therefore, the tide will change.
One regent that you might have pissed off down the line, or just had something out for you.
All right, like my buddy that's a regent here, and he's like, they get X, Y, and we get this, and so you are not doing, all that stuff, and then that changes. That changes the dynamics of it. So
Well, people probably said that same thing about Dabo before he went on his run at Clemson. because they were always one game away. Ole Miss, has kind of been one game away, maybe 2 games away here or there. Better than they've been in a long time. But people forget that when some of the first college football playoff rankings came out, it was dominated by the Mississippi schools. Ole Miss and Mississippi State were like the first teams in the top 4. And that's weird for those places. They're not traditional football powers, but there's something like that in every program, Jay. When they get their first taste of success, it's so hard for them to be happy with that and build to, hey, think about how long it took us to get to this point. We can keep investing to get to the next point. This is what it takes to play big boy football. Every fan base that has reached that point, really outside of Iowa, has reached that point of like, oh, we need more, snap the fingers. Well, I'm sorry, we needed more. You're not good enough anymore.
Yeah. And the reason I think a big hang up in this is where I think programs really run into a little bit of trouble is in order to get to that type of level, you got to have a very unique mindset. Like every day it's got to be like win or you die, or when, it is
every day's 4th and 1, right?
Every day's 4th and 1. And if you don't have that mentality, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. You're not going to beat those teams, because those teams that are consistently there, I know enough people there, they do have that type of mentality every single day. There is no days off. Do they have their fair share of fun? They have a lot of fun. But when it comes down to this football thing, it's 4th and 1 every day, and we got to have it.
And they got a lot of fun after quadruple zeros.
Yeah, but you do have fun, but you also have to understand that it's a certain mentality. There's certain sacrifices you have to have, and you got to sacrifice, more and more as the stakes get higher. And if you're not willing to do that, then you can't demand that. Then unfortunately, you have the fans expect it, but they really shouldn't. Well, then that's where the frustration comes from, and that's how you end up like Florida.
You're almost too good for your own good.
Yeah,
when you couldn't get over the hump.
Or the Florida is expecting some things that they had thought because of a small glimpse last year or whatever. And then that's how you get, coaches get ran out, or there's things that then they're like, all right, well, you've won enough, but not enough. And, we're tired of the way you won. I don't know.
Elsewhere in the SEC, you brought this school up at one point. The numbers 1 and 286 are key. According to ESPN, SEC teams had been 0 and 286 in games in which they trailed by 27 points since 2004. The 1 now belongs to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And Mike Elko, they come back from the brink to take down South Carolina. Mike Elko signs an extension, 6-year deal, keeping him in a College Station through the 2031 season, worth more than $10 million annually, bump of about $3 million per year with incentives on top of it. He's 18-5 in 2 years. Started out really well last year, had a little bit of that late season swoon, but Texas A&M fans are probably pretty happy they revolted against the idea of Mark Stoops to end up with where they're at with Mike Elko right now.
Yeah, he's doing it the right. Look, he's at a great university that has a lot of financial backing, and then also, being able to recruit. Texas A&M has always had dudes, and so, but what he's doing though is he's getting guys and he's developing them. He's making them invest in Texas A&M and things that are, like, I guess, bigger and better, and is working out. And that's why you're seeing individual players that are really exceeding. And then you got Stewart that went first round. The 2 guys they got now are just as good. Both of them were draft picks last year. There was a guy that transferred in from Purdue. He was really good. And then obviously Stewart was really good. And they got 2 guys that are right behind them are just as good as studs. And so, he's done it the hard ways. He's not flashy. He is what he is. He's a meat and potatoes type of guy. He's all football. It seems like, he fits there, and, it was a good decision to re-up him. And I say this right now, this is Trev Albert's first football hire, because he came and he was already there. So then you, obviously, whether you had to or you decided to, doesn't matter. You re-upped him. This is the first guy you're attached to.
Yeah. Career-defining sort of move.
Yeah. Maybe
tenure-defining sort of
tenure-defining or short tenure, but also you look at it like, look at Woodard at LSU. He's made all the other hires he made, won national championships. Well, you hired Brian Kelly at 10-year contract, and then they used it against you, when in reality, everybody was offering 10-year contracts for guys that were willing and able to come and coach at different schools. And you fired at Ogeron. Right?
Hey, that guy won a ring.
Right. But, he kind of, played himself out and had some other things going on. And you thought Brian Kelly in LSU, perfect match. Then he took that mic there at the basketball game, and they were like, oh, has the ink dried on that contract? Yes, it has. Damn. And then there went the clock right there. And then he doubled down on when he did the recruiting.
Oh, that recruiting video?
Yeah, when he did
this.
Oh,
brother.
I only seen that in techno clubs, man. Those are the clubs you might not tell anybody you've been in. Take my word for it.
I will.
Yeah.
I will have to take your word for it.
So we'll see. It's interesting times, man.
So with Virginia Tech filled, what do you think's the next domino to fall? Now that Elko's staying put, Lane's family could be on the move. Who's the next one to hire coach?
It's going to be Penn State because
before Arkansas.
Because LSU. Well, I thought the dude from Memphis is going there.
His name's been thrown out there, but haven't heard anything official.
Well, the next big job has got to be Penn State because it lets you know if it's true that the family was at two different places, that they're waiting. They're both waiting. And Ole Miss is waiting.
Yeah.
So now, Penn State, where you at, player?
Go get your guy. But I feel like there's not much overlap between what Penn State has been looking for and LSU and Florida.
That's what, because that's going to either solve itself really quick as far as Florida and LSU. Lane's going to be out and stay put, or he's going to pick one, or it's going to fester for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and the decision's already going to be made. And so both of them are going to be sitting there waiting for it's like a gender reveal or something, right?
Right.
And then so now Penn State, you were the first big one to jump out there long time ago. Seems like almost like last year.
Yeah.
You're gonna roll the dice on homeboy from James Madison, Chesney, or are you gonna go try to get Brian Hartline? Another roll your dice? Are you gonna go try to get old buddy from Buffalo, Brady? You're gonna try to come and get our coach. You got to make a decision because at the end of the day, those first three that I mentioned, those are high risk right there.
Oh, yeah.
Those are high risk, and you better be invested in it, right? So now you essentially got yourself at the, we are Sparta type of thing, and you got to talk your way off the ledge, right? I mean, because versus probably Matt Rule's, the safer bet, right? He's done it before. He's done more with less. I could argue that if he got a chance, and this is not taking anything against Brett. I'm just saying what they could, look, you got 3 guys that just called plays. All right.
Not 3 guys that ran team.
Right. So, whereas a guy that's ran a team, that's just right. And now I don't know who else is out there. I mean, Kirk Cignetti ain't going nowhere. So, you're going to get Brian. Now, the only dude that you got in your back pocket now, which might have been so long for you to kind of get to this point, is because you had to do a whole bunch of house calls. You've had to drink cognac. You had to smoke the cigar that you might not like, but you're trying to sway people to be okay with Pat Fitzgerald.
He's still out there.
And that is a good match. It seems like it, right? Tough
in
dudes.
Theory.
Yeah. Big Ten. Right? Boy. You talk about what's the dude that always is in there with the negative news? What's the dude? He got gray hair. We saw him down in Vegas, and he got the gray mustache.
Oh, McMurphy?
Yeah. hey, what's his name?
Brett McMurphy.
Brett McMurphy I got my exclusive. Right?
It's right here.
And then he would just say, hey, just reading the real report.
Right.
You said this.
I hear this.
Right. And yeah, you got off, but let's just look at this right here. You were pinned here. The action happened here. So you're trying to tell me 30 feet away you didn't know? So therefore, how can you coach Penn State? Boy, Brett McMurphy would be on him.
He'd be killing the fools.
Let me tell you something. If there's something shaking in the weeds,
who are you going to call? McMurphy.
He's right there because he's shaking the weeds.
That he is. Some shaking going on in the Nebraska football recruiting class. We'll get an update on what shook out in the Huskers class, where the coaching staff was over the bye weekend. More. Brian Munson of Husker Online joins us next.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School here on The Ticket. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you. It's 3:30 on a Monday, which means we are headed to our Aloe Fiber VIP line, where we are joined by Brian Munson of Husker Online. Brian, a happy Monday to you and yours. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. First things first, your Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator's in a bit of a coaching search. If you were Joe Brady, Would you stay coaching a top 3 quarterback in the world, or would you go take your first ever collegiate head coaching job at Penn State?
That's not even like a question, right? I mean, obviously coaching Josh has got to have some perks, and he's obviously just signed that huge deal up there in Buffalo, and he's in the middle of just kind of in the meat of basically his career. But Joe Brady's under a lot of scrutiny too. I mean, that offense is still putting up 40 points, running game still pretty suspect, at least this last weekend. Got some tough games here for the rest of the schedule, but I think Spagnuolo, the owner of the Bills, is a big Penn State alum and big booster, I guess what I meant to say. And I really feel like Spagnuolo is trying hard, desperately, to get Joe Brady in as the head coach there at Penn State. So I think Nittany Lion fans are going to have to ask themselves, after everything that's happened and Franklin going to Blacksburg now, and if they end up with Brady, are they better? Are they better off? I mean,
it's a risk.
It's certainly risky. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, in the Big Ten, I think that we would all agree. I mean, it's a different conference. It's an incredibly different and tough conference. So, yeah, I mean, for me personally, I mean, bringing Brian Daboll back over to Buffalo, the recently fired coach from the Giants, as a previous OC to Joe Brady up there in Buffalo. I mean, that would be a great fit too. The Bills could just fall right back on the line with Daboll as the OC. So we'll see how it plays out. I think he would be a little foolish not to take that job though in Happy Valley.
It would be pretty important for him too to take it sooner than later, you would think, with early signing day just around the corner. Virginia Tech has their guy in place. Brian, what would a coach be able to do? Let's say they accept a job here by the end of the week. What kind of work would they be able to do on their 2026 recruiting class, if any?
Yeah, I mean, think about like what we did, what we kind of covered, what was it now, 3 years ago? That it was that Friday right after Thanksgiving, and Matt Rule is, already working the phones. And what you're hoping to do is kind of reconnect with some guys that you lost out of the 2026 class, I think, first. I think, secondly, you probably have had a little bit of time to go back and maybe evaluate some names that maybe weren't part of that 2026 class, to where you could maybe extend some new offers, maybe try to go back and keep a local guy, somebody a little more regional home, give them another option, and that may be where I guess the whole Joe Brady, the luster of it just isn't there. It's not Urban Meyer, it's not Lane Kiffin, or whatever, whoever else you want to kind of throw in there had a little bit bigger name, like some of the names that was being thrown around earlier on. It doesn't have that pizzazz to it. So I don't know if he's going to necessarily have that ability to like reach into other people's classes and just pull people out, unless it's really more of a school thing and getting direction kind of more established at, just with having a head coach finally. So I don't know, but that's how I would kind of attack it. Go back over the 26s that I had lost, who are the remaining guys on the board, where are the holes I'm trying to fill. And then maybe a couple more new evaluations and making out some new offers and see if I can do anything to kind of keep a couple local guys home.
Last thing on the Penn State front, but this will help transition us to the Nebraska football element of things. Fourth away night game for Nebraska football this season, Brian, coming up at 6 p.m. in Happy Valley. Matt Rule was asked a little bit about that and said, you know what, it's the schedule. We'll play it. It's maybe not my favorite, but we have to love it because it's the hand that we've been dealt. But also then made the pitch that, hey, this is actually pretty good for Nebraska, right? When he's gone out on the road recruiting, it's a lot of eyeballs on Nebraska and the kind of primetime windows late at night. You get that national attention. How true do you think that is, or do you think that's just maybe spin from Matt Rule?
Well, I mean, so let's see. You had the opening game against Cincinnati, you had Akron, and you had USC. So they've already played 3 night games up to this point. Mm-hmm. You're adding a fourth. I agreed with him in his press conference anyway that, they benefited. They have benefited from getting into that national, that time slot there that makes it a little bit more available for people to get to watch that game that night in case they had things going on. And And I think it's always a bigger draw. People are sitting down trying to figure out what they're going to do on a Saturday night, and there's a big game on TV, so go ahead and watch it. I feel like the home games have been massive for Nebraska. Whether it's the blackout, that you had against USC, or just I think all of the 2027s and 2028s that visited this fall that just kind of had to like do the same thing that Trey Taylor did, last fall. And that was just, you gotta kind of go see it. You got to go kind of, witness it yourself and figure out like what's special about it to you. And I feel like Nebraska got a lot of guys to come in from those down the road classes. And I think that they've set themselves up, for a really strong class in 2027 and really kind of looking down the road a little bit more at 2028, they could do the same thing. So I think they've really benefited a lot from having these late time slots to get on the air and play football. And obviously, some tough loss there against USC, but ultimately, like we had talked about after that weekend, everybody was more just in love with the environment and obviously all the recruits had the other recruits there and the players to kind of hang out with. So I think that this one's interesting because I think it gives the Nebraska team a little bit more of a feeling of like just like the stage. You had the Rose Bowl. You're gonna get State College on a Saturday night. Well, you're gonna need to figure that stuff out because you got somewhere down the line you got Big House, you got the Horseshoe. You have to go back to Indiana at some point, and going to Kinnick as well. So I mean, there's some benefits here from continuing to play on these big stages for this team. They're still cutting their teeth. They're still cutting their teeth trying to figure these things out. They're still scraping for these wins. And I think the other thing too and I'm sorry to kind of ramble on this, but like a 10-point underdog this weekend too is just so incredibly interesting. I mean, I think it just should make them hungry, for the ability to kind of go out there and prove some people wrong on that national stage. So I think they got a lot to play for on Saturday night.
We're talking with Brian Munson of Husker Online. He's with us on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Brian, Matt Rules also asked today about how much more room they had in their 2026 class with us being just a couple days or a couple weeks away from signing day. Potentially one spot opened up with a decommitment. Leon Noyle Jr. Decommits from Nebraska. What do you think went into that decision? How big a loss is that for the 2026 class?
Yeah, Leon, he had just been up there for the USC weekend, talked to he and his teammate that had visited. Loved the visit, but he's been getting a lot of pressure. He's been getting a lot of pressure from Baylor and from Mississippi State to come take a closer look. So he's decommitted, and I knew things were kind of thought that things were maybe going to move this way because since the news kind of broke that he was going to take this visit over to Mississippi State, he's not answered my phone calls. He has not answered my phone calls since he returned, and that typically ends up that something bad is about to happen. So I think Leon is a great player. Number one, I think that where Nebraska, though, saw him playing as an interior offensive lineman, I think it would have been tough. He plays tackle currently for Edna Carr. He's got great feet. He's a good athlete. But I think that when you're looking at like the interior offensive lineman in particular, like in the Big Ten, you have those big tree trunk legs, and Leon is just he doesn't have that lower body build, I think is what I kind of then liken to like how I would build a Big Ten interior offensive lineman. And I think that would have been a problem. I think that would have really been a problem playing against some of those bigger, 6'2", 325-pound kind of nose guys. I think that just would have been some difficulty there. So I think ultimately, if this is what he wants to do, it may end up, being the best for both sides. Nebraska is, looking at a junior college interior offensive lineman, Micah Modelau from out there in Mount Sac. bigger guy, a little bit more fuller player, getting some Big Ten interest too, just up at Illinois last week. So I think that, I think Nebraska, I think he said one or two today, maybe now 3 that they'd have to get to. But I also don't know like how many of the recent junior college offers are getting included in that number, or if they're kind of seeing that more as like a cheap portal guy almost in some ways, because it's a little bit more tailor-made, particularly like the linebackers, the corners, the offensive lineman that I just mentioned a second ago. Taylor Schaefer, being a big, kind of a jack linebacker that could kind of step in and play right away, or Assad Chapman, the big corner that just visited Oregon. Like those guys there, I think are almost like kind of like those cheaper guys of the defensive line portal guys they got last January.
I'm glad you went there, because I was going to ask, there's some really interesting stuff in everything you wrote about the JUCOs. Would really recommend people get over to Husker Online and check it out. Do you think that you said maybe probably cheaper sort of portal guys, but also maybe a way for Nebraska to get older quicker at seeing the roster they have for next year? A lot of rising, redshirt freshmen and redshirt sophomores that will be seeing the field. And hey, here's some depth guys from the JUCO ranks, where Nebraska's probably pretty set on its starting 22 potentially, again, before we get to the attrition part of the offseason, but maybe a way to, like you said, stay within budget and just get maybe a little older, a little quicker.
Well, I think also that if you think that you're in a position like for like a redshirt sophomore to be there, maybe to be ready, like I know he's been hurt all season, but like Gibson Pyle was maybe running as like a top 6, top 7 offensive lineman, there at Nebraska. But, now all of a sudden, Rocco graduates, moves on. You're going to want some competition, I think, at that interior spot. And I think you're still trying to find different ways to just kind of get better. So I think that when you maybe think that you've got kind of an emerging guy there, you're not trying to like squelch him by bringing somebody else in there to kind of be the competition for him. I think I think what you have to say, like what you say to yourself about like having 2 capable quarterbacks in the room. If I get a chance for those guys to go out there and push each other every single practice, every week, I get better at that position. And I think that Nebraska is maybe feeling like that. I think that it's kind of a 2-pronged attack. I think that there's the angle of getting a little older at a particular spot. Maybe you're just a little young. And I think also that, maybe you feel like you've got like somebody there has been in the program, for 2.5 years, and they need a little competition, somebody else to kind of keep bringing them along to where you can kind of build some incredible depth within like that kind of JUCO or portal guy, along with being more organic with the high school guys you got coming up and developing them.
Because Nebraska hasn't done a lot of JUCO in a while, right? Really, like, Mike Riley had a couple JUCOs. Other than that, it's been a long time.
It was very unusual for it to come up, but you put the film on, these dudes can play, and it's been very interesting to kind of like look out across the country to see who the schools are that are reaching out to these guys and making a lot of the same schools that are kind of looking for some immediate help in some places, or looking for some guys obviously that can challenge the players that are there at those positions currently to kind of take a step forward. But I mean, like I said, Chapman was just on an official visit to Oregon. He just picked up an offer from Oregon last Tuesday. So it's not like these guys are just picking up Nebraska and then like Kennesaw State and Middle Tennessee. It's not like that. These are some legit Big Ten offers kind of coming off the shelves of these guys.
The other thing I wanted to ask, Brian, Nebraska's coaches hit the road over the bye week to go and recruit a little bit. We know at least some members of the staff were down in Buford, Georgia to watch Dayton Raiola. How has Dayton progressed throughout the season? We know Buford's rolling, but how have you seen Dayton or heard about Dayton's growth as a quarterback this year?
Yeah, I think he had 4 touchdowns passing. I just got his stats today from the coach down there at Buford. I think there was 4 touchdowns, and he verified that Coach Rule was down there this week. I know that they were also down checking out Nayland Scott at McEachern High School in Georgia. And they were also down checking out Larry Miles, the other wide receiver for Nebraska, the other 2026 commitment. So I know they were in Florida and Georgia. Those were some big places for them to get to. But Buford is now, I think they're 11-0, and they're rolling. I mean, and this was a team that They were preseason number one. They actually lost the number one spot in the state even after they won, like convincingly won that week. I think Douglas County was the school I think that took away their number one spot. But this is going to be a very interesting kind of situation. I think they're moving into the second round this weekend. I think things are going to get really difficult for them in the third round and going on. And this is like where we've talked about before. The defense is better this year at Buford, I think, than what they've had before in years past. And it's not like a air it out kind of thing. They've been very dependent on having a balanced offensive attack. But he's had a good season. It's not been Trey Taylor when it comes to offensive numbers, but he's not had to go out there and kind of do that either.
And to Trey Taylor's credit, not many seasons across the country like Trey Taylor's. That dude is balling.
No, that guy, I mean, I'm telling you what was it, like almost like 85% completion percentage or something like that. I worked it up and put it into 3 and out on last week. I thought it was just it's such an amazing story about like his determination and just not being satisfied from at the end of his sophomore year to the beginning of his junior year, the kind of discipline that he had in what he did to kind of get ready for his junior year. And the fact after losing that game, a heartbreaker that they probably win 8 or 9 times out of 10 any other time just because they're more talented. Even after that heartbreaking loss that ends his junior year, he's already back at work. I mean, it's all about the process with him. And I think Nebraska fans are going to be tickled, when he gets up there to Nebraska and leads by that kind of example.
That's Brian Munchen of Husker Online with us once again. Brian, as always, appreciate your insight. We'll catch up again next week after Penn State, see if there's any movement in that 2026 class for Nebraska. Thanks, as always, for your time, Brian.
Sounds great, buddy. See ya.
Brian joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Jay Foreman joins me to wrap up Hour 1 of Old School momentarily.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
A Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Don't be fooled by the typical holiday ads this year. A new car for your significant other is a dream, but not a likely reality. Why not upgrade the current car you have with a detail? This year's hot item is a gift certificate from Nebraska Auto Detail to make your car look and smell fully refreshed again. We all have clutter and we all make messes, but it doesn't have to stay like that. Give the gift of a clean car this holiday. Buy your certificate at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call 402-601-5086 for an appointment today.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you on Old School here. We'll get to our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line to round out hour one of the show. We'll start with this from Westy J. Do you think Virginia Tech was James Franklin's first choice for reasonable jobs? Of course, not like LSU would hire Franklin.
I don't know if he had a first choice. I think he's just going out there. I mean, I think he's out there and he probably took a really good look at the landscape, and I think it was one of his top choices. He wouldn't accept it, or potentially not going to accept it if it's not. I don't think he has like his first. I mean, I'm sure his first choice would have been stayed at Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
What was the next? Was it LSU then Florida, or Florida and LSU?
Florida first, I believe,
Yeah.
and then LSU. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think a lot of times these coaches know a little bit more about the insides of the program than other places, and I think Virginia Tech is a good fit for him.
And he's a good coach, but he's not one that can say, "No, I want to go here. You will make it work."
Yeah, well, we're going to see right now. I think he did some really good things at Penn State. I think he brought them back to national kind of recognition and prominence, and
for good reasons.
And we'll see who next comes in and if they drop the ball or not. Because I think he did a lot of things that people don't give him credit for, under some not ideal circumstances. And I just think maybe I think the Florida gig was too much of a risk. I mean, they'll run you out of there quick, and LSU probably is like that's just probably poisonous down there. And I don't know if he fits in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he fits in the SEC. I just don't know if he fits LSU.
Ben says Pat Fitzgerald would be a disaster at Penn State. He's an old school guy, cut of the same cloth as like a Mike Gundy, and the game has passed him by.
Who was he saying?
Fitzgerald says Pat Fitzgerald would be a disaster at Penn State. Too old school.
I don't believe that. That's what do you think Kirby Smart is? I mean, he's more old. He's old school. He's more old school than Nick Saban. Now, It'll be interesting to see what Pat Fitzgerald does offensively. Defensively, they'll be just fine. No matter where he goes, they're going to be good.
Which is where maybe the time off is where Pat Fitzgerald made some connection and said, hey, what I was doing didn't work. Maybe it wasn't the scheme. Maybe it was the talent.
Was working
but
good enough to get him places. I just think, he just lost control or whatever happened. I mean, that was it. It wasn't losses that got him fired. It was.
Well, but it would be losses at Penn State. It wasn't losses at Northwestern.
Yeah.
That's what's drawing the distinction.
Maybe he has to do what Brett Bielema did. Kind of went around and looked around the NFL after Arkansas and kind of welcomed the RPO game, and he runs a little bit more of it now.
Well, he got Lunny from UTSA, and he was really good.
Yeah, but I think Brett Bielema said, remember he went to the Patriots and kind of assisted offensive line or defensive line.
Yeah.
But he started to he went around before that and kind of opened his eyes to different types of offenses versus what he ran in Wisconsin, and it worked out pretty well.
Last thing, then, this is from Cam in Valparaiso. If the Bengals fire Zach Taylor, Joe Brady will be the head coach of the Bengals, not at Penn State.
Yeah, maybe he'll be in the running. I don't.
But you go from one offensive guru to another.
Yeah, and I don't know. What would be the reason of firing Zach Taylor? Losses?
I think Zach Taylor's been fine. I don't understand the hot seat.
Yeah,
smoke.
me either.
I really don't.
You lose your franchise quarterback.
You're paying 3 guys 50% of the salary cap. You got to figure that out.
Right. You decided to do that. You decided not to trade T. Higgins not 1 year ago, 2 years ago when you could have.
You let go your seeming Mahomes kryptonite and your defensive coordinator, who you didn't give more than one piece to work with. Trade the other one away.
And then your 2 defensive ends both held out because you didn't want to pay them.
Because you really couldn't pay him.
Yeah, you really couldn't. You had to figure. I don't know. It's Cincinnati. I mean, I think Cincinnati is a job. If you're wanting to be a head coach, you can't turn it down. I think if you're a head coach that has other options, you go the other way.
Yeah.
So, but then it could be a Brady.
Could be.
He's never been a head coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff there. We will take a break. When we get back, we'll talk some more NFL. Could this be the year the Chiefs missed the playoffs? In a fantastic Husker weekend in a number of regards. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. This is Old School. Back in a minute.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, for our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. Get 12% off parts the day of your local event. Can't make it? You can still save 10% on parts and 20% off planter parts December 1st through the 12th. It's the best time of the year to stock up on oil and filters. Grab John Deere gifts for under the tree and schedule your service inspections. Don't miss out. These deals only come around once a year at Landmark Implement. Find your nearest expo at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Leaves are falling and temperatures are cooling down, but don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Winter leagues begin on December 1st and are open for registration. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate or team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at doubleeagle.golf.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. It is hour 2 of Old School, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Austin Orman here, Jay Foreman there, and you listening wherever you are in the world. You can be a part of the show. As always, 402-464-5685. You can't be wherever in the world and get the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, though, really only for our Lincoln and Omaha friends. But come from your surrounding communities to any of their 3 Lincoln locations or one up in Omaha. It will be worth your trip. A great trip up to the Sanford Pentagon J for Nebraska basketball. Men's and women's teams both end up winning. We'll start on the men's side. The Huskers hang 100 on Oklahoma. Not necessarily uncommon for Nebraska. Those two schools Went back and forth quite a bit in the mid-90s, had some pretty entertaining affairs. Nebraska gets down by as much as 16 points in the mid to late part of the first half, led by as much as 11. Either way, Nebraska ends up pulling off the win over Oklahoma. Final score of 105-99. First impression for me was Fred Hoiberg ball might have actually arrived, might have officially arrived. It helps when you shoot over 50% from three. But this is kind of what the Nebraska fans thought they were going to get when Fred Hoiberg first walked onto campus. They've had some stops and starts offensively. It's been a kind of defensive-oriented team the last handful of years. But Nebraska found the extra gear it needed to win its first high major game of the year. Not perfect, plenty impressive.
Yeah, it was really impressive to go on that run and sustain it and have an answer for every counterpunch that Oklahoma tried to get back in the game. And they made that late run where they're little desperation threes and in a putback, 3-point play. But the game was well in hand, and to be down by that much and have no control of the game, they increased their pace and did it with spacing. And then obviously they started to make shots, and the rest was there. And then they started to get a couple of timely turnovers, and this is exactly what people envision and remember Fred Hoiberg when he was at Iowa State. Then obviously went to the Bulls, and they showed some glimpses there. And then when you hire him here in Nebraska, you're like, okay, this is what we want, because that's maybe what we need, because just in the recruiting landscape, you're not going to probably get the depth of really, really good athletes and, that other schools would be able to get. And so now you have it. You went out and, I mean, me and you talked about it. I was like, dang, some of these dudes getting it. And then you said, just look at the 3-point percentage. So you want guys that can space the floor. Rink Mass got busy. And was it Sanford?
Yeah, Bryce Sanford.
Sanford got busy too. There's two grown men. They know how to play. They know how to compete. They're both physical. And then I think I want to give a shout out to Jamarcus Lawrence. You go 0 points in the first half. Come down, hit the three.
Saddle with 2 fouls,
right.
Barely play.
But then you shot the 3, hit 1, then you came down right now. It was heat check. I knew he was pulling it. As soon as he came over half court, and then he started to get busy, and then everybody else started to, do their thing. So then you kept it on. You go 1-0, 105. And the best, I think the best compliment that you could get as a coach, football would be how disciplined and physical you are. And obviously after a win, right? All that stuff is out when you get beat, but in basketball, Oklahoma's coach said the pace that they were playing. See, that means something different to me, because it lets me know they're practicing and they've been prepared at that style, at that pace, right? And so that's 1 through 10. You got great minutes from Cale Jacobson, and you got even better minutes from Sam Hoiberg.
Funny enough, stats would tell a different story. You actually got better minutes from Cale Jacobson. A game high plus 15 for Cale Jacobson. Sam Hoiberg actually ends up a minus 10 on the day, but that's one where I think his contributions maybe outweigh the plus
and
minus.
My reason is saying Sam Hoiberg, because you could put him in at the end of the game, and he's making all the free throws.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to make the right play. He's going to make the heady play. He's going to make the play that's not going to be in the box score. So I guess my reasoning is not fact-based. It's more experience-based in closing a game.
But much of Sam's negative came in that first half when Oklahoma was making that run. But to your point, he was on the floor late when it mattered, because Nebraska trusted him and could trust him.
Right.
You're right.
And so that's look, when you can put him in there, he's going to D up. He's going to go for 50-50 balls. He's going to call a timeout if you need it. He's going to save he's going to throw, and he's going to do whatever you need to do to win. And then exactly he can handle it against the press. And when they have to foul, that's the dude you want. That's why I was saying you get even better. I think Cale Jacobson kind of started it, and he played good all game, but and then between those two, then Sam, kind of came in towards the end. So those are two guys where I think you're gaining, 1+ roster spots each, because you're getting the guy that's playing right now, but then also the guy that's able to develop your whole team, because I'm assuming those two, are running when they're scrimmaging, they're running the second team, and they're not taking a back seat.
No.
And so to get better, you got to iron sharpen iron. And so I like it. I think it's a huge win. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to handle Oklahoma's athleticism. They are athletic. They aren't really in tune yet, it'll be interesting to see how they end up in the Big 12 because that's a gauntlet.
Oh, they're in the SEC.
Or SEC, excuse me. I keep
But either
thinking
way.
right. Yeah, I know it's even worse,
Yeah.
right? But I always think Oklahoma with Trey Young and all them. But yeah, they're in the SEC, and how they end up shaping up and how they've had to change their roster, but what they learned from Nebraska because they put up some points too. And I mean, you come in the middle, half stepping. They'll get it up off the glass on you quick and get downhill. I mean, get up the court, and so they're going to cause a lot of people a lot of problems.
There's a bunch we can get to. I do want to jump out at Nebraska's pace a little bit here. I mean, the shot chart was really good for Nebraska once again. I mean, 34 of 59 overall. That is 57.6% shooting for the game. For the game, Oklahoma shoots 52.4%. Nebraska takes 4 fewer shots than Oklahoma and 10 fewer threes than Oklahoma did. Nebraska makes up for it, though, by making 1 more on those 10 fewer attempts. Also went +3 at the free throw line, and we can get to that in a little bit. 27 3-point attempts, Jay, isn't a lot for Nebraska.
Yeah,
it's really not. If you look at Nebraska on the fast break and transition, actually outscored by Oklahoma 13-12 in transition points. Nebraska isn't necessarily playing that breakneck pace. You know, I mean, 63 shots and 59 shots is a good number, but that's not off the charts.
Right.
It was incredible efficiency from both sides. Nebraska would still, walk the ball up or jog the ball up and get into its set. So it's not like Nebraska is playing the mid-90s style that you would maybe imagine, right, in the 105 to 99 final score. They were playing quick, but they were playing with purpose, right? Because when Fred Hoiberg says pace, I want fans to make sure they understand that it's about being on time more so than it is going fast. Nebraska will need to go fast. Nebraska will need to get out in transition to really maintain its half-court efficiency, because that's how Nebraska is going to hang against some of these more athletic teams that try to gum things up in the half-court. You'll have to take those transition opportunities. But 59 shots in a 40-minute game isn't off the charts. 27 threes really isn't that many. I mean, Oklahoma shot more, and they shot 37% from three, 38% from three for the game, which more often than not, you're going to feel good. But this was an incredibly efficient game from Nebraska. 1002 says, was that the best shooting half of all time for Nebraska? It's got to be up there. In the second half, Nebraska goes 18 of 28, 9 of 14 from three, and 16 of 20 at the free throw line, much of that in the last minute. Nebraska found something after really the first 6 or 7 minutes went by. I mean, they gave up a 10-0 run to start the game. They crawl back in at Oklahoma again, gets up by 16. Nebraska cutting it down to single digits in really 7 going into half. You felt okay because Nebraska looked like found something, and they sure did. I want to touch on Price Sanford here. That's a guy who came off the bench for Iowa last year as the 6th man. He just looks so much more comfortable with the ball in his hands and maybe some other transfer portal ads. I mean, he had that dunk that kind of reminded me what Cooper Flagg did to, who was that a bet? I think Ian Jackson last year, or Drake Powell against North Carolina, kind of jab step, drive around him, get to the rim. Yeah, that one, the tuple cuff reverse layup finishes, including the and one pretty early on in that one. And then he shot it pretty well from three again. I mean, 4 of 9, that'll play. 4 of 4 on free throws. Sure, not the greatest defender, but according to Evan Miyakawa, a big stats guy that I follow, Price Sanford, per possession, has been the 24th best player in college basketball. And this is adjusted for opponents as well.
Yeah.
Do I think he sustains that all year? Probably not. But I was on the Price Sanford bandwagon. Nebraska said, yeah, he's got some ability to handle the ball. And you see Price Sanford attacking in transition. You see him able to beat guys off the dribble. On top of his ability to shoot Nebraska back into a game, Price Sanford kept Nebraska afloat until, like you said, Jamarcus Lawrence came around, Rink Mass came around, and then Cale Jacobson made some tough plays in the second half.
Yeah, I think he's paying dividends. I think it's even better than maybe what people envisioned at this point. I think his skill set is not Derek Walker-ish, but it's a different type of skill set. And I think that's where you see it takes a lot of pressure off Rink Mass too, where he's able to kind of maybe the high-low game. And when you see with 7 assists with him and 10 between those two, you're 2 big guys. I mean, that's either addition to each other or getting it to the right people. So I think he helps them spread the floor. I think he can, get busy and get downhill good enough to where he's going to keep people honest. As long as guys on the 3-point line are ready to shoot, somebody's going to hit. And obviously it's Rink Mass, and then obviously Jamarcus Lawrence 3 for 5 Kale Jacobson hit one, and obviously Connor.
Well, the tough and one
Yeah.
to give him the lead after the free throw.
Connor Sejan, then he came up, he only hit one, and then Burkett hit one. So I think, obviously, you don't expect 57% from three every single game, but you expect good shots. And when this team has enough shooters, that they can hit them, and then they've, were able to. I saw one of the best plays I saw where Oklahoma went on a little 62 run, and they came back, got it to Rink Mass, top of the key, kind of a little dribble handoff real quick, and it was like a dribble bounce pass handoff, got it pinned down, and then immediately right into him. They had was it number 7? Was it Dayton Forsyth on him, and he had him in the first. They could have easily fed it into the post right there from the wing, got it to the corner, got it to him. Good enough. Rink Mass was able to get back to the free throw line. Why that's important is because you have Fred Hoiberg, I think, does a really good job. And you saw this a lot towards the end of Bryce McGowan's and them when they went on that 4 or 5 game run. They're like, oh, this is how this should have looked, right? And then it went into the next year with Sam Griesel, where you have those momentum stoppers and then momentum extenders for Nebraska. That's what was probably the most impressive to that, because they look very cohesive. I think the role definition is really good, which makes them play better. And I think it's also really, really helped on the bench as well, because guys know what they have to do. Because, a couple of years ago, what was the 3-point shooter that went down to Texas A&M?
Oh, C.J. Wilcher.
C.J. Wilcher. I think it was C.J., he was taking good shots, but then he kind of didn't know, what his role was. He didn't really maybe welcome it or whatever it was, just from my perspective. Now you got guys knowing exactly where they fit in, and they're able to play, at least, last game at a high level.
Well, and even if you consider that, you go from C.J. Wilcher to Connor Sejan last year, then to Price Sanford, I would say Sejan's probably more on the one-dimensional end. Wilcher's probably in the middle, and Sanford probably offers the most.
Yeah,
right?
That's
Wilcher got there by the end of his career. Sejan has added a little bit in the mid-range.
Yeah.
Wilcher was a little thicker body. If guards tried to post him up, he could hang a little bit. Sejan's a 0 defensively. He competes, but that's not enough. But you see Nebraska kind of steadily improving in that position. What they got from Connor Sejan last year was very similar to what they got from C.J. Wilcher, even if it looked different. But Price Sanford is kind of the next step in that evolution of that role.
Yeah, and this is, give Fred and the whole crew credit, where they're able to kind of, mold what they view Nebraska overall as a Nebraska player needs to be, and then what we need, in certain pieces to compete and be very effective in the Big Ten. So I think every year that I think they've leveled up, right? They've tried different things. They've had the support to, kind of peel back, try it again. Got some really, I'm assuming, good support NIL wise, and so they're able to go, and it's appealing too. So if you have a guy that kind of envisions, like, as a football player, you go and say, okay, when I'm watching tape, what linebacker kind of plays like me, so I know kind of really to study, because then I see how you're going to attack. Same with a basketball player. You get a kind of a 4 that can run a little bit, get out there on the break, hit the open 3. Oh, yeah, I could go to Nebraska. I see exactly where I could fit in. And then they can show you successful, tangible, plays and points per game at that too.
And to that point, 2026 signee Colin Rice was in the building for Nebraska out of Price Sanford's high school.
Yeah.
Going to be asked to play that role.
Right.
You see Price Sanford lead Nebraska in scoring, in fact, lead all players in scoring with 28. You talk about role definition. Rink Mast and Price Sanford combined to shoot 34 times for Nebraska. They go 19 of 34. That's well over half of Nebraska's shots. Under the radar kind of shout out to Bearcade Wheatonjo. He ended up playing 32 minutes in this one. And really what's going to keep him on the floor is going to be that free throw shooting late in games. Nebraska likes him defensively. They like his ability to rebound the basketball. 65% free throw shooter last year, 73% this year. If he's above 70%, you can have him on the court late in games. If he's below 70%, that's where you get into hack a Bearcade territory. He had a really quiet 16 points. 7 shots, 5 of 7, attacked his mismatches, hit his 1-3, hit his free throws, rebounded pretty well. One bad hook and hold, but that was a solid game, and that's the role for Bearcade.
That's exactly what you want. Anywhere from 10 to 16 points, and and obviously be effective in the rebounds, and obviously in the free throws is huge. And his ability, if he knows where he's at, mean he's in the building. Like I'm here, right?
Yes, I am present.
Right, I am present. Okay, we're not in Burke world or whatever. He'll be just fine because I think he does. He's not overly quick, but I think he's like gangly enough, physical enough to cause you problems.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's like just an odd matchup, just because he's everywhere, right? And it's not like maybe technically sound, but it gets the job done. And so and then
we've all played against those
right,
guys.
and he doesn't really get up off the floor, but he can rebound. He got good timing, so you're happy for him. It seems like that he's in the I think he's adjusting a lot better now than maybe last year.
We talk about Nebraska's depth quite a bit. They have 7 guys that end up playing double-digit minutes. I think Bearcase 32 minutes, much better shape, like he's talked about a couple times, is key. But then you get 11 and a half minutes off the bench from Connor Essegian. Okay, that's fine. You can live with 11 and a half, 12 minutes a game from him. You get spot contributions from Braden Frager, just under 8 minutes, and then a 2.5-minute stint from Jared Garcia. Jay, we've talked about this at different points about, Nebraska's depth. There's so many options, so many weapons. That's great. But every coach knows you got to pare down your rotation, which is where I think that the core for Nebraska will be that starting group. I think Cale Jacobson is pretty firmly there. And then depending on the matchup and who Nebraska is playing, that's where you could see Essegian get 12 or Frager get 12 or even Garcia get 12, depending on the fouls. But right now, after a couple really good games to start his career, Braden Frager's come back to earth a little bit. And that's fine.
Yeah.
If he can still come in, provide that athleticism, right? He was even in his 8 minutes.
Yeah.
He didn't look out of place athletically. He did his job. He kept it moving, pulled down a couple of rebounds, right? Jared Garcia is just there to eat minutes. And I still think Essegian probably gets played off the court a little bit just because of his lack of ball handling and lack of creation, which is where I think Sanford's a better fit for what Nebraska wants to do. And maybe Jacobson and Hoiberg handle the ball better at the point. But you still need a guy like Essegian, and just in case he's hot that night. But I really think that top 7 there with either Frager or Garcia as the 8th man, depending on the matchup, that I think is really where Nebraska's rotation will settle by the end of the year, unless you get Ugnius Jurusevicius back from injury, and that's maybe a little bit of a wrench. But sorry, Leo Curtis, you're fun. You'll be fun in the non-con, but I really think this is mostly what we're going to see from Nebraska once you get, conference playing in.
Yeah, and then, they can play their way up and down that, first, second, third guy off the bench, and, you got to continue to do it, and practice is going to be key for, a guy like Braden Frager. He's still a freshman. I mean, it's great that you were really good in practice last year, but playing in the games, you are a freshman. So he's learning, and they're bringing him along slow, and, he must have done well enough to, my boy Blue is,
where are you?
Where are you? So, more power to him. There's going to be games that he's going to have to play 11 and a half minutes, and season is going to be 7, 8 minutes. So you're going to have to be able to step up when need be. And you look at Cale Jacobson and all those guys. They were able to earn those, mid-20s, high 20 minutes per game minutes.
Nebraska women also played up at the Pentagon. They beat North Dakota State, final score of 82-70. It was not Britt Prince leading the way for Nebraska. It was Amaya Hargrove. Perfect day shooting the ball for her. 7 for 7 overall, 1 of 1 from 3, and knocked down both of her free throws. It was tight. Nebraska pulls away to win it by a dozen late. So a 2-0 weekend for Husker hoops up at the Pentagon. Nebraska men will head down to Kansas City later this week. Hall of Fame Classic, New Mexico on tap, and then either Mississippi State or Kansas State. Speaking of Kansas City, could this be the year the Chiefs miss the playoffs? It's happened to all sorts of all-time greats. Chiefs aren't out of it yet. We'll tell you what the numbers say about this year's edition of the Kansas City Chiefs next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the all-new Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide the smooth energy to get you through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found at Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Of Husker power to Allo Fiber, powering your home and Husker Nation. Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School 93.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com. Austin Norman and Jay Foreman with you. This segment brought to you by the great people over at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based in Hallam. They offer free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. Heartland of Nebraska Windows, locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give them a call today for more info, 402-430-3852, or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. It could be through the window that the Kansas City Chiefs are watching the playoffs this year. 5-5 in 9th place in the AFC right now. The 3 teams directly ahead of them all hold the tiebreaker with a head-to-head victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Jay, even off a bye week, the Chiefs couldn't find a way to beat Denver. This is a Chiefs team that last year went 10-0 in the regular season in one-score games. This year, 0-5. They've come in myriad ways, the Chiefs dropping these games. ESPN's FPI still has the Chiefs as a really good team. In fact, number 1 in ESPN's Football Power Index with a 55% chance to make the playoffs. That leaves a 44+% chance that the Kansas City Chiefs miss the playoffs. They're sitting here at 5-5 with 7 games to go. Jay, we'll start with this. What's wrong with the Kansas City Chiefs?
I mean, I think people have caught up to them a little bit. I don't think people fear them anymore. And I think Philly took their heart. And I told you when Mahomes got off there with the green suit, that was desperation. In Philly, you met your maker. So I think also their success over the last 10 years in that run, which has been, second to the Patriots, are probably one of the best runs ever, has made everybody else level up. And, when they were feasting on a young Justin Herbert and, the Broncos had whoever at quarterback and whoever at coach, well, that's changed. So now it's the same thing Buffalo's facing.
Yeah.
Yeah, times have changed, and they're a little off right now. They're in a transition because, I think Kelsey is probably physically and more mentally there this year. They're not looking for him as much.
All-time Chiefs reception touchdown leader, but
they're just a little off. You saw it you saw their mentality. They're trying to strike early, right? Mahomes was off yesterday. The defense has been good, not great. I think their defense was probably better last year, just overall, just the way they played, just off the naked eye. And you could just, look at Chris Jones. He kind of stirs the pot. Played good yesterday, but kind of been inconsistent. So right now, they've had a tough run. They lost to Buffalo, lost to Broncos. You can't really fault them for that. Won 3 games, before that, beat Detroit, so that's a big win. At the time, beat the Commanders pretty easily. Was competitive in every game. So I think they got to really look at, okay, let's look at these next 7 games and really, if they're able to win this game against the Colts at home, against your Colts at home, if I'm the Chiefs, I like my chances going on a run, right? I get the at the Cowboys, and that who cares, right? Beat the Cowboys, and you get the Texans at home. You like that, considering the Texans' offensive line, and you get the Chargers at home. We felt like they got one pulled over their wool over their eyes playing in Brazil in week 1, and then you go to the Titans, and then you get the Broncos at home, and then you go to the Raiders. So if I'm Andy Reid, I like my chances, but what I don't like is us being inconsistent. So we got to get our consistency back. We got to get our edge and our swagger back, and that's only going to be by just rolling up our sleeves and getting back to what made us great.
I have been the numbers guy, and I will be the numbers guy again here for a second. When you adjust for down distant opponent in a game situation, it's a stat called DVOA. Last year, before week 18 at the Broncos, the Chiefs were 6th. This year, going into the Broncos game, the Chiefs were 5th. Okay, tells you they're about the same, if not better, than they were last year. Expected points added per play. 11th on offense last year, 3rd this year. This Chiefs offense this year, per EPA, is the number 3 offense in the NFL. Doesn't quite feel like it, okay? Even defensively. 15th last year, 10th this year. Schedule's been tougher. Chiefs faced the 18th toughest slate in 2024 and have faced the 5th toughest slate this year. Again, first place schedule, but do with that what you can. So those are the numbers that would tell you the Chiefs, essentially on a per play basis, are as good, if not slightly better than they were last year. Okay.
But,
wait just a second. Chiefs offense 2nd in the NFL in EPA per drive, not just per play. Among Chiefs offenses in the Patrick Mahomes era, this is from Shielkopedia, the only offenses better than this one, EPA per drive, 2018 and 2022. 2 all-timers. Here's the but. That air of inevitability of they have the dudes to just make that one key play, gone.
Yeah.
Or at least dwindling, right? I mean, last year, 35-yarder for Denver to win the game. Leo Chanel blocks it. This year, 35-yarder for Denver to win the game. No problem for Will Lutz, right?
Yeah, right?
Last year, teams dropping the ball against him in the goal line, or goal to go situation. Not happening this year. And most of the pieces are still there, but maybe not to the same degree, right? Another year for Travis Kelce, hasn't been able to find that extra gear that it seems like. It's just weird because the numbers tell you that the Chiefs are fine and they have a better than not chance to make the playoffs. Now, I will tell you, Jay, as a fan of a fellow AFC team, I want no part of the Chiefs' devil magic in the playoffs. if the Chiefs sneak in as the 7th seed, let's say Indy cools down and they get the 2 or whatever, man, I want no part of the Chiefs. Just because they haven't pulled it together yet, I don't trust that they won't do it. But there are some really worrying trends, especially defensively. They are not getting after the quarterback. They are making Chris Jones go essentially full defensive Mahomes. He can't do it or hasn't been able to do it. Haven't had anyone step up around him. Those guys aren't making plays. Mahomes has thrown 3 back-breaking interceptions.
Yeah.
And they have a chance to essentially ice the game against Denver. 2 chances to put the game away. They gained -3 yards on their last 2 drives. Couldn't even get a first down.
Yeah.
Not even a first down across 6 plays. That air of inevitability of, I guess the Chiefs are going to find a way to squeak this one out. We've come a long ways from 13 seconds in Buffalo to where we are right now.
Yeah, things have changed, and when you look at them, their leading interceptor, he has 1 interception. This is not the Chiefs, defense or team that you like, that you've been fearful of, and Patrick Mahomes was deadly late in games when he rolled out there, and you knew it was 4 minutes, if about 4 minutes left, and then they went 3 and out. Something's changed, right? The connectivity between Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce and Nagy is just a little bit off. So they got to get back to work. They are doing a lot of really good things. That's why I think Andy Reid can really feel like they can make the playoffs, because they're just in a little bit of a lull right now. And they're getting everybody's best shot. And they're I wouldn't say they're a little bit withered, but they need some guy. You need Chris Jones not to be looking around against the Jacksonville Jaguars as the guys running in the end zone. You need George Karlaftis to continue to ascend to a potential all-pro player versus just a guy that had 1 really good year and then now I'm kind of just coasting, even though he has 5 sacks this year. He has been a non-factor.
Yeah.
To the point that Chris Jones has been upset with him. And so then you need the offense to decide what they want to do. All right, do we want to dummy this bad boy down and play big boy football, which they've shown the ability to do, right?
The ability to do it, but maybe the complete and utter lack of desire to do it.
That's what I'm saying. You have to decide. Because listen, when the Chiefs offense was rolling, all right, what made the Chiefs offense really or potentially unstoppable is the ability to run the ball conventionally.
When they needed to.
And then when they decided to, they really ran it.
Yeah.
You look at the Super Bowls, they really ran it. And they'd have different running backs that are able to do it. So you can decide whether you want to do it. Do you want to be Pachenko? I saw your boy Hunt in there early. Or what do you want to do? Because when you start the game off going 3 bombs, that lets me know you're trying to put the dagger in the heart. Well, then now you didn't hit those. So now you have no physicality established. Whereas on the flip side, early in the game, Denver was punching that defense dead in the face. Right? Now, Denver has their own problems because they can get it all the way down to the 5-yard line and kick the field goal from the 20.
Yeah.
They lead the league, I think, in penalties, right? And a lot of them have been offensively. So, or not actually defense pass interference. So I want to be staying corrected there. So the Chiefs have got to really just get into what they want their identity to be the next 7 games, and they'll be all right. Because I just think they're just too talented. Andy Reid's too good of a coach. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback going. Travis Kelce gets a little bit too much, vinegar in him. And, you need Rashee Rice to get going, right, to be consistent.
His return hasn't really helped Kansas City consistently. That was supposed to be the
that
difference
1 week
maker.
they went off. And
it's
then
the consistently, though.
Yeah, it's been kaput. So now that's where the role definition has to be really put in effect, because you got Worthy, you got Rice, you got Juju. So where does everybody, fit in? And then you're trying to, it seem like they're trying to overly feature Noah Gray too much. Like the first, 2 passes.
Hey, this guy's coming after Kelce.
Right.
Here he comes. Look
Right.
at him. He's our guy.
Right. Just like, nah, man. They were, Kansas City had Jason Dunn and they had Tony Gonzalez, and they were just fine.
With just Tony Gonzalez.
just Tony Gonzalez, and Jason Dunn will do his thing. Just leave it at that. Noah Gray will have plenty of time to take over when Kelsey's off doing movies or whatever he's doing. That's where I think they need to get a little bit tight. And then they need to look at how they're playing situational football, because this is unlike the Chiefs. They just didn't. And that 4-minute drive, when they got it, it was a 4 minute and
Something.
change.
Yeah.
It's like, you're like, okay, here comes Mahomes. Well, dang, Denver just got the ball back. It almost threw them off in as far as how they're going to end the game.
Yeah.
Um,
And Bo Nix, to his credit, has been pretty clutch this year. It was not a perfect game for him,
he
but
was good yesterday.
He was good
been
yesterday.
horrible the weeks before,
but found ways to do enough.
And
to win.
he was clutch yesterday.
He was.
He was clutch. But yeah, it's. I mean, they just got to get going. They got to. I would like to see them instead of trying to. And this is nothing against Noah Gray. At this point, Andy Reid could be slick to try to get, because you got to just start depending on Travis Kelce, because that's a dude that's won a lot of games for you.
Mhm.
So whether you dial him back early in the game and make him okay with it, I would also
Make him the closer.
Yeah, the closer.
Mhm.
Just look at when he went on the run, 11 targets, 11 catches.
Yeah,
he was in a lull then. Then in the playoffs, what did he do?
Turn
Just
it up.
lead you right to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Juju Smith-Schuster kind of flex him into the tight end position. Try to get some explosive plays that way. So you
Middle
get
of the field.
Middle of the field. Then you can open up Kelce on the other side.
Mhm.
Then you can bring Noah. So I think they got to find that little mix, the kind of little Andy Reid special. They'll be just fine.
Last couple minutes here before we take a break. And Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Don't worry, we see you. We will get to you here. Mahomes is in his prime, squarely in the middle of it in his age 30 season. ESPN put out a really interesting kind of look at other quarterbacks that either were or could have been considered to have been the greatest quarterback playing in that era at the time, and missed the playoffs. Peyton Manning at 25 missed the playoffs in 01. They went 6-10. Brett Favre 5-4 in the middle of his first MVP season, and then 5-5 after 10 games in 1999. Aaron Rodgers 4-6 in 2016, his age 33 season. That's maybe the example that the Chiefs fans are holding on to, because that Green Bay team, I think that was the RELAX team that then won the division, made it to the NFC title game. Joe Montana 5-5 in 1985, coming off a Super Bowl in 1984. Make the wild card lose to the Giants. John Elway wins the MVP and takes the Broncos to the Super Bowl in 87. Missed the playoffs then in 88. Marino, first team All-Pro for the third consecutive year in 86. Bad defense. They miss the playoffs when he's 25. And then Kurt Warner 0-6 as a starter in 2002, just a year after winning the MVP and going up against the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So teams have been here before with a quarterback in their prime. To me, Jay, the question is less about, do the Chiefs make the playoffs this year? Can they do any damage? They can. They're the Chiefs. They might find a way. They might not. More important to me is, what does Kansas City do about this? New England might have staying power. Indy might have staying power. The Chargers and the Broncos might have staying power. We'll see what's left in the tank for Pittsburgh. Cincinnati and Baltimore won't be this bad again. Oh, and Josh Allen is still playing football as well. This year, you can't treat it as a throwaway year. Whenever you have a chance to make the playoffs in the NFL, you got to go for it. This seems like a critical offseason for Kansas City.
It's a critical offseason, but I think it's critical for the rest of the season, because that will dictate the offseason.
Mhm.
And then also, better yet, the better question is, who is Kansas City moving forward? We knew where they were.
Yeah.
Who are you moving forward? Patrick Mahomes' prime is going to stretch for the next 6 to 8 years. Believe it or not. Okay.
Nature quarterback in this NFL.
He will,
Mhm.
because he can play with his mind. Yeah, he can play.
Arm's still working.
Arm's still working. He can play in the pocket.
Mhm.
So he's going to play as long as he feels like it. What are we going to do, Kansas City?
Mhm.
So you got to go down that list here. They might have to do. Kansas City's notoriously been a team, for instance, that kind of bargain shops at times with the wide receiver position. Now they went a little bit, obviously, with Worthy and all that, but maybe
Mhm.
you go back to bargain shopping and then.
Well, the draft's dried up. You got to
Right.
nail the draft.
Right. So maybe you try to get the guy in the third or fourth round that ends up being really good, right?
Mhm.
Rasheed Rice was on his way to stuff happened. And then really invest in maybe in your corners and safeties now. Because, they were always like, draft a guy, develop him, then now he's somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? Now you got McDuffie coming up. Now what are you going to do? You let Reed go, and that's a big loss.
Mhm.
Now, that was a guy that always was coming back on one-year deals, win a Super Bowl. And it was kind of like he was like the overlooked glue, that I call it a second and a half level. So he wasn't a linebacker. He wasn't a safety. He was a cleanup man. He made huge plays.
Yeah. Always had his nose around the football.
Always had, and made huge plays, timely plays. You miss a guy like that. And then you move Drew Tranquill off a new, budget-friendly contract into a more of a starring role.
Mhm.
Right? And so all those things, they're going to have to reshape and decide what they're going to do.
Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. We will get to you. Your thoughts on this very topic to round out hour 2.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
No Shave November is raising awareness of men's health and prostate cancer. Limitless Male wants you to know low T is real. Low energy, brain fog, belly fat, low libido. Your T levels matter. They affect how you function. If you have symptoms, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel good, you'll wonder why you waited so long for a free consult at Limitless Male.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the number one fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Don't be fooled by the typical holiday ads this year. A new car for your significant other is a dream, but not a likely reality. Why not upgrade the current car you have with a detail? This year's hot item is a gift certificate from Nebraska Auto Detail to make your car look and smell fully refreshed again. We all have clutter and we all make messes, but it doesn't have to stay like that. Give the gift of a clean car this holiday. Buy your certificate at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call 402-601-5086 for an appointment today.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
This Black Friday, it is time to hit your goals before the new year even starts. At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, get 40% off our next 10-week challenge, plus 6 weeks for free to kickstart your fitness journey. Start training December 1st with kickboxing, strength training, and personalized nutrition. So when our official challenge begins January 10th, you're already ahead of the game. Spots are limited. Don't wait for January to make your resolution. Start strong now. Visit fxbeatlincoln.com or stop by one of our 2 locations at South 40th and Yankee Hill or North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Stronger starts here.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one final time for hour 2 of Old School. Hour 3 still on the way. Big thanks to the folks at Love Volleyball, not Omaha anymore, Love Volleyball Nebraska for their sponsorship of this final segment. To our starter, Heyman Jewelers text line, we go. OG Breaker, even when the Chiefs are a 500 team, we have to hear about them all the time. Welcome to having the best quarterback in football. Crowbait definitely riding with the Colts next weekend. My man, hop aboard. Unmasked Texter. Long story short, Chiefs suck, and I know all about bad football teams because I am a Vikings fan. That seems like a kind of low blow. Vern says, let's credit that Denver defense when the Chiefs needed to ice the game. Yeah, I mean, shout out Denver. They
Yeah.
took the game. They won it. Shout out Denver. I mean, they're the one seed in the AFC if the playoffs ended today. So shout out to them. Derek in a car. If injuries start to pile up on any of the big three, it could all change in a heartbeat. Chargers beat both, but then the last 2 weeks of December at Kansas City and Denver will decide who can compete for the AFC Championship. That's just the thing, Jay. I mean, the Chargers have been kind of building to this. The Broncos' record might be a little bit better than I think their quality of play has been, but their record's better right now. And we know how much a home field game can matter in the postseason. No, I trust neither franchise or my own for that matter.
Come on, Austin. Are you serious?
I'm rooting for him. I like him. I'm just not saying I trust him fully.
You don't trust the Colts?
I trust the Colts more than I do the Chargers and the Broncos, but I think the bye week came at the right time. And I think here's what I said to my friends and family who are Chiefs fans. If this Colts magical season and run is real, they find a way to snuff out any hope of Chiefs magic. If the Chiefs are still going to be the Chiefs and be a tough out and have something to say for the rest of the year, they'll find a way to win something. Because the Colts have beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs before. They did it with the running game. Jonathan Taylor was pretty good in an upset win. But, I think the bye week was needed. Jones had regressed a little bit. Defense needed to get healthy. No, Buckner worries me a little bit. He's on IR, should return before the end of the regular season. It's not that I don't trust the Colts, right? This year in a vacuum, they've been just as good statistically, if not even maybe a little bit better than the Chiefs have, right? So this season, sure, I trust those teams more. Right. But I can't completely factor out the track record. I'm still in see it to believe it camp, and I'm hoping and rooting for a Colts win that will help me buy in one extra step.
Yeah, I mean, I'd favor the Chiefs just because they're desperate. And I think they're going to muster up enough to beat the Colts. But I'm a true believer in the Colts. They have a really good running game. That offensive line is playing hellified football. I think they got a good rhythm with Daniel Jones. I think that last game showed a little bit more moxie in heart than people probably assumed that they would have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were shooting themselves in the foot, and they stayed with it. Steichen is starting to grow on me a little bit. I like the owner. I think the defense is more trustworthy than people give them credit for. And I think once they get healthy, I think they'll get – I would like to still see – I mean, Franklin's pretty active. I think we need to get him back to when he was that hungry, Franklin. It was like we need him in the – I mean, not we. Yeah. You would need him in the playoffs. But
well, and get someone alongside him too.
Yeah.
LB2 scares me.
Yeah. So if they do, they'll be all right. I think they'll get into the playoffs. And once you know that you're getting into the playoffs, that changes a lot of things.
It sure does. Westy, who did the Chiefs have left on their schedule? Jay, I know you went over it, but even if I don't remember the exact teams, what I do remember is that all the tougher games for the Chiefs are at home.
Yes.
That
and
could
good,
be big.
And it's good timing, right? Listen, when you look at it, you got to study what Jacksonville was able to do against the Chargers and the Chiefs, but more importantly, what they did against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
There's some payback there. You got Houston at home. The offense, I mean, C.J. Stroud isn't playing. It favors the Chiefs. All right, you got Denver at home.
Mm-hmm.
So you get payback there. And you got Indy at home. So I like their schedule. I think
it gives them a chance.
I think if they're able to get over the hump against the Colts, then they go to Dallas. I think they have more, heart than Dallas to crank it up one more time. And then they get a mini bye week. And then then the shockwaves are through the league. Like, here they come.
Mm-hmm. 8-5 all of a sudden.
And then they get to get that kind of last little rest. Here comes Houston, right? Which I'll see. Hey, dang, that might be a game I need to go to. And then they get the Chargers.
Payback on their mind for that one.
Yeah.
At home.
And then you think like, okay, we go to Tennessee, handle them, and then we just got to crank it up probably, potentially.
One last time.
Against Denver on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
At home.
The Netflix special.
At
Kansas
home.
City invite.
At home. Oh, yeah. It Chiefs. And then if Patrick Mahomes gets in the playoffs, all the pressure's off. He's got to travel.
Just keep your eyes open. Not saying watch out. Just keep your eyes open. Eric and Lincoln, appreciate you texting in here. And then Mean Joe Green. At least we'll find out who the true Chiefs fans were now that they're struggling. Sick of all the bandwagoners.
Hey,
well, that's part of the deal.
Chiefs fans came out and drove just like Iowa Hawkeyes fans came out right here. When Iowa was beat Nebraska, boy, I saw more dudes walk around with Iowa Hawkeyes. I was like, I was always. They always say, I always was a fan. No, you weren't.
Mm.
Where you from? He'd be like Lincoln. No, you weren't.
No,
no, you weren't. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. We are going to go to break. We'll be back hour 3 of Old School. Plenty more on the way in the realm of football and beyond. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. This is Old School on the Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ready, set, forward. Just announced 0% for 66 months with approved credit on all 2025 Ford F-150s at Zollner, Ford Beatrice. Save thousands in finance charges. If your current pickup loan's 4, 5, 6% or more, trade in today and receive 0% for up to 66 months on a brand new 2025 Ford F-150 of your choice at Zollner, Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you gotta come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, 5 o'clock hour? Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, live in effect, 1040 O Street. A little chilly outside, but we're bringing the heat. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt / Old Cheney, 168th and Maple up there in the O or Metro, whatever you like to call it. A lot going on in sports, on and off the court, on and off the field. We covered some Huskers, had a little recruiting. What was happening on the bye week, and obviously talked a little NFL. But Austin, I wanted to ask you about. I'm gonna go. We'll spend a little more time in it because I think it's the bigger issue. Everybody saw the Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey dust up, but we've seen this more often in sports. You can go all the way back to Chris Paul and who was it that hit Chris Paul? Who was it that punched Chris Paul or Rondo and Chris Paul?
Oh yeah.
We've had it in different times in football. You had it even way back in the old days of J.J. Stokes and Bill Romanowski. And that seemed like a one-off. But I think just you always wonder, I guess by the technicality, spitting on someone is assault. Technically, I didn't even know that, right? But reality is like that's probably the lowest thing you could do to another human.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's more ready to guys do that, right? It's more prevalent now, and it's the biggest punk move of all time. Now, sure, I know things happen in the heat of the moment. You're frustrated. I'm sure Jamar Chase has been extremely frustrated. I mean, you go to the Super Bowl and you're almost on the, Joe Burrow's kind of like Dan Marino, and they might not never get back, right? And you've had Mark Duper and Mark Clayton. I don't know if that
it predates me, but I've heard the names enough that I'm
Dan Marino, I tell you, he's the best thrower of the football I've ever seen in my life. And I played against them all. Yeah. All the guys there in the Hall of Fame or will be, I played against them all. So, so I can understand what the frustration is. I can understand being so frustrated, I want to punch the guy that's talking junk to you. I've been there. Everybody's been there. Never crossed my mind the hock a loogie in somebody's face. And in the NFL and college has got to get a hold of this because it happens way too often. It's disrespectful to players in the game. I'm going to tell you a funny, it's not even a funny story. I was in Buffalo. It was my 4th year. It was when Greg came in, and Danny Smith was, special teams coach, and he's kind of like Mike Eckler. He kind of turned us around. We were horrible, but he had me playing the wing on field goals. I hated it. There's a lot of
lucky
pressure.
you.
You out there, you get ran over, you're going to give a block. And we were at wherever Danny Smith went to college. That's where we met the Cleveland Browns. And they had a corner, and I knew his name. His name was Corey Fuller, who he played for the Vikings. I knew him a little bit.
Edinburgh State?
Yeah, that's where we were. We drove down there, and Corey Fuller was with the Cleveland Browns. And I knew him because he was with the Vikings, and he became famous because Trent Dilfer ran him over one time. And he was a yapper, and I mean, we're on field goal block. I was like, this is just formality.
Mm-hmm.
He got it and tried to, hit me late, and maybe because I was only a 4-year guy or whatever. And then so next time he went, I hit him back. Well, then he was like, he was woofing a little bit and whatever. And then he said something like, "I'll spit in your face," right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just got up and started walking towards him. I said, I can guarantee you're not gonna do that, right? And it walking, it was like it wasn't. I was walking straight to him, is because I just know how disrespectful that could be, and then guys just do it all the time, and it's just weird that a great player like that, Jamar Chase, would go to that length to disrespect his game like that.
A great player in Jamar Chase against a really good player in Jalen Ramsey,
Yeah.
who is about that life,
Yeah.
who welcomes that smoke.
Yeah.
But Jalen Ramsey had to stand on business.
Yeah.
If you're going to spit on me, I got to do something. I
Yeah.
can't take it, right? You're not that much better than me. You're having the season from hell. And that's where I don't know where this is coming from. It does feel like it's a little bit of an epidemic in leagues. Have we just completely lost our boundaries and control as a society? Like, can we bring back like slamming the surface? It's got a protective, case. Time we slam that again, or we kick the bench or throw our helmet. Why do we have to take it out on other people? And why spit, right?
Yeah.
Throw hands, right?
Yeah.
Be a man. Why do you have to spit, right?
less
Cool.
fun, too.
Probably.
Yeah. Or missing
Might
the
hurt
game
you
check.
more, but if you're going to be about that life, be about that life. I don't understand it. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what it's motivated by. But is that something the NFL can legislate out, right? Is that like your 30-yard penalty? But how do you prove it? You have to go back to video review and break it down frame by frame. Is it a full game check? Is it a game suspension? Because right now, Jamar Chase, what's there to play for?
Yeah.
For him this year, he's got his contract. It's a lost season. They're not making the playoffs. I'm sure he'd take a week off,
Yeah.
to coast. Where can you, hit players that decide to act out like this so it actually hurts? Because clearly, fines and suspensions
They're not
haven't
doing
done
anything.
the deal.
Yeah, and he's. I saw him on a couple of national commercials, and I mean, it won't hurt him long term, but I just I just wonder.
But it's about the bigger picture for the league.
It's a bigger
The
picture,
shield,
and,
right?
And it goes down. It dribbles down to the youth. Now they're
Mhm.
watching all this, and they're going to replay these type of acts, and so that was very alarming to see him do that. Jalen Ramsey is a great player. He's a playmaker. He's making a transition to kind of being that kind of Minka Kirkpatrick type of hybrid type of deal, play corner, safety, slot. And he brings that edge,
Mhm.
and he's not backing down from anybody. And whether it's fighting his former brother-in-law, Golden Tate, for breaking up with his sister, he gonna fight Jamar Chase to chasing down Tom Brady and challenging him. He's gonna do what he needs to do. But I think,
well, that's the difference too. Like DBs kind of have to be like that. You're out on an island. You will really only get highlighted when something goes wrong. It's not really a diva position as opposed to wide receiver,
right.
where not like it's come easy for Jamar Chase. I mean, the dude was committed to Kansas at one point before he goes and breaks records at LSU, but you got the, hey, I got to stick up for myself. I got to defend myself
and
on
that's
an
how he
island
got
position.
here. He played with an edge. He's been overlooked, and I just think it's more these young players that come in, whether it's grade school to high school to college to the pros. I don't think they respect the game enough. I don't think they respect the past or the people that have laid the foundation for them enough. And here's another example.
Quick question, maybe too bought into the entertainment and ego part of it than the job and work
them.
and living
It's all
part
about
of it,
them.
potentially?
It's all about them. And that mentality is really good when you're a player. But when you come a former player, you wish you would have handled stuff differently. You see it a lot of times. You see it with Antonio Brown, right? But you think it also the lack of respect for the game. Another story coming out of the Giants camp. Now the Giants got everything under the sun going on, right?
Yeah.
You got a coach fired. You got a rookie quarterback. You had Scatterboo, the bro number 2. He got hurt. He's at the fight when you got a game. He's down at the UFC fight. You got a game. So now you're knowing inside that locker room is a little bit of a cesspool. And then here you go, speaking of Penn State, Abdul Carter, who was he was a really good college player, better athlete than I think where he got drafted. I mean, his numbers were off the chain.
Yeah.
He goes to the Giants. Homeboy sleeps through a walkthrough.
Brother.
Like, okay, so then I'm going to start asking you questions. Okay, what were you doing the night before to sleep while you forgot to go out through a walkthrough? Generally how it goes, so we can tell you. So when you have a walkthrough, You probably get there, have breakfast, maybe get your lift in, quick special teams meeting, position meetings, and then a whole defense meeting, or vice versa. Defensive meeting, whatever you're doing, put it in. Position meetings, go through it, film. This is where we're walking through. They kind of give you the script, right? Because really what gives coaches a lot of confidence is that you don't mess up a controlled environment in the walkthrough. That means you're mentally engaged, you're able to follow directions, and we feel better as we move forward to the game.
And hey, guess what? You're just here.
Yeah, you're up now.
Yeah.
Right? And he fell asleep. And, they didn't play him in the first defensive series, but also this is also, again, looking at it, from a bigger perspective, the lack of respect for the game. You could say Lawrence Taylor did it, but Lawrence Taylor is he is LT.
He shouldn't have done it, but what are you going to do?
And Lawrence Taylor said, he's even told you that he wished he would have not missed some stuff. Now, Lawrence Taylor was able to go and do things and then show up on Sundays and be
Lawrence Taylor.
Unstoppable. You were a second-year guy trying to figure out what we're doing, or maybe a rookie trying to figure out what
rookie.
to do. Rookie.
Good player.
Right.
Good. Fine.
Showed
Numbers
flashes.
haven't translated necessarily,
Right.
but okay, your rate stats are getting
Right.
there. But come on, dude,
Yeah.
as a rookie, a guy that is supposed to be the face of the franchise, right? You're not Burns, you're not Lawrence.
Right.
Who are you trying to be, right? Do you want to be Strahan 2.0? Do you want to be you and your, or shoot, even JPP? How many walkthroughs do you think those guys slept through?
Well, here's the thing. Then you come in, you wanted Lawrence Taylor's number. I'm telling you from personal experience, I did not want to be in that locker. And it's not because I didn't respect him. It just knows that that's pay homage to him.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to see how these guys approach the game and how they go about when you look at the Bengals and you look at the Giants, two are probably the most disappointing stories all year. It just doesn't start with wins and losses. It starts prior to that. And that's what, I wanted to kind of talk about, just because as much as we're talking about the Chiefs and what they could do, and that's why another example of this is Keon Coleman, who's probably one of the most explosive, I'll say, vertical athletes at that 6'4", 220, 230. Doesn't really go side to side, fast twitch well. You miss practice, so you're suspended.
As you're trying to establish yourself?
Well, you're on the hot seat.
Yeah.
To the point that the head coach says it. So if the head coach says it, you know who else is saying it. The GM.
Probably the quarterback too.
Quarterback too. So he's lost confidence in you because now he can't depend on you to do the one thing you can control is show up.
Go get that jump ball.
And we'll show up to practice.
Sure.
And there hasn't even been a big snowstorm. That now, trust me, in Buffalo, if you miss a practice, you could be snowed in. If you live in a certain part of, if you get in the snow belt, you can't get to practice. And Deion Dawkins told him, like, the time is now. You are on the hot seat. You think about Leggett down in Carolina. You're on the hot seat as well. Both of them were kind of the same. What people fell in love with originally, their personalities off the field, right? The Southern accent with him, and then Keon Coleman kind of with he was good at Florida State, but this is just the way the league is right now. So when you look at the production on the field, it's how they're coming in.
Is this a league office issue? Is this a
generation? This is a
issue?
generation of guys like that, young guys.
So then where does the solution start? Does it start at the commissioner's office? A couple memos and, hey, tighten your guys up. Does it start at the GM? Hey, we're going to be the change. We're not going to do this stuff. Does it start at the college level? Break the high schoolers coming up with their bad habits and create better pros. It's on the individual level.
Yeah, it's all three. I think that if the pros make a stand, especially with the spitting thing, you're going to have to find a way to you're going to have to send a memo out. It's a bad look for the league. And then with all the other stuff, you're going to have to the pros are going to really have to really be picky, start highlighting some of those teams and guys that do the right thing. And then down to the colleges, it's a little bit harder because it is the pros, because you're able to lead. You're able to now they have, I think, contracts. You're able to kind of come and go as you want through the transfer portal. Can't even do that in the NFL. Like if I wanted to play with 10 teams, I couldn't. They got to choose you. So, I think the part of the problem is when you consider it's been an effort to run away from, I wouldn't say, I think the past kind of, gives people the, the measles or whatever. I think when you run away from the standard, right? So let's just do that. That's easy, the standard, right? Because that's always in everybody's lingo, that this is what you get. Because when you have no standard or how you're supposed to operate, then they just do whatever they want. You can even flip it over to the NBA, right? How many guys that have the talent of Ja Morant and Zion Williamson and decide to, let's take Ja Morant. Okay, you get essentially an NBA get out of jail free card. Yeah. We're going to suspend you until Christmas. Okay, the biggest NBA day of the year. And then you're up in Denver with guns again.
Yeah.
And then your celebration issue. That's what I'm talking about. So if you go back, you don't want to talk about Jordan's era, right? Okay, well, let's take the one after with Kobe Bryant in them. That would never happen, right? When you're supposed to be.
So are you blaming LeBron?
I'm not blaming him.
Sorry, just had to throw that out there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody blames him for everything else, I mean, I just think that.
But I think the Kobe era is an interesting point, too, because they tried to, the dress code rule.
Yeah.
They
did.
They tried it. Didn't work.
It didn't work.
But then what did the NBA players do? Kind of earn their way back into good graces. Hey,
Right.
You had a point. You probably went too far with the enforcement, but message received. We'll be on better behavior.
Right.
And, of course, Malice of the Palace was in that era as well. But the NFL, of the three major American leagues, the NFL, the NBA, and MLB, the NFL cares most about that shield and protecting that brand
more than anybody
compared to the others.
Right.
Like, it has all been for the shield. It has all been fall in line or else. I mean, look at the stains that baseball's had in the gambling, in the steroid era, and the owners that are allowed to not spend money and let their teams shrivel away. Look at the NBA. I mean, who knows what the NBA stands for? Maybe some of that's part of a reaction to that David Stern era. But Jay, for how long has the NFL been about the NFL?
Yeah.
The collective over to
their
the
detriment,
individual.
it's been to their detriment because you have like the lack of, saying the concussion lawsuit, right? And then you had the race norming. Then you had all the like where doctors would give you a whole bunch of like nobody knew what you were taking, right?
Right.
All that stuff.
Into
right?
Daniel Snyder.
Well, they were able to escape that because of the shield came first. Because as that was going on, the shield was just the gleaming light. This is a dark shadow over it right now because that's what people are talking about right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it helps out Zach Taylor.
Right.
Like, I mean, he's just got
look what he's got to deal with.
Yeah, but Jamar Chase has to stand on that. Right. Versus Zach Taylor go out there.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
Oh, I mean, what is Zach Taylor supposed to do? I mean, that's a grown man that should know better.
Yeah. So it's interesting, especially in a year where the excitement should be the Chiefs might not make the playoffs. The Broncos are emerging. The Patriots are back, and maybe it just isn't all Belichick. Here's Mike Vrabel coming back home, right? The Bills are still hanging around, right? Detroit is still kind of there, even though they lost last night.
Detroit's in third place in that division somehow.
Philly is struggling, but still doing their thing. The emergence of now the Chicago Bears, right?
The Rams, the Niners are hanging in.
And the Rams
the Seahawks are exciting.
The Rams are sneaky, the best looking team right now, right?
I saw this stat, Jay, just while we're on the Rams. For the first time in his career, Matthew Stafford has a career record above 500.
Yeah. That's a lot of hard work.
116, 115, and 1. Think about the hole that he was in Detroit to have to try to crawl back through that to finally, what, age 38, be above 500.
If he's probably, is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh, I think so.
Okay, so yeah, so
I'm a little skewed. I've liked Stafford for a while, so
I have too. It's been good, but if he stayed in Detroit and they kept losing, they're like, oh no, you're well. First of all, you wouldn't have a Super Bowl,
right?
Second of all, you just got empty stats.
Super Bowl's there, and I think in the social media age, he's getting some more of that love because he does some of that cool stuff.
Yeah, he does. And with Sean McVay, it's a match made in heaven. I don't know what was going on this summer because I don't think they could have got anybody better than him. And he's making that late career run. That's going to leapfrog him maybe a couple years earlier into the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he'd be first ballot. That all kind of depends on when he retire. So when you look at it, these are the type of stories you want to hear. Even Seattle, even though they're off the beaten path, They're tough. Cardinals are, showing some spark. All those things. And now you got the front page, Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey. But the Shield probably always kind of is able to divert you to it, away from it, just because of it's been an NFL first and everything last. And so it'll be interesting to see when or if they come down with a hard line on something like that.
It is interesting, too, that the two incidents that have happened this year have been in pretty heated divisional games.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the saving grace for the NFL is, okay, we know these are, bitter rivals. They see each other twice a year. They hate each other. We can't condone it. It finally crossed the line. We got to do something about it. If this happened in like a Panthers Colts game, then I'd be worried it was like epidemic. But
they're trying to replicate the big boys, right?
Exactly, right. But at least now, again, it's unacceptable. It's inexcusable. But the NFL can say, okay, these are heat of the moment things between guys that are probably too familiar with each other. They let it get a little too loose. Let's reel it back in. But at least it is, if there's some silver lining, these big divisional games between frustrated teams.
Let me ask you this. How excited are you to see Kirk Cousins back in the helm?
Gosh, I'm probably.
I mean, first of all, are they going to start him now since Michael Penix is out for the season?
Can they go get Marcus Mariota again?
I could see him doing it, because Raheem Morris was like, I'm not playing this man under any circumstances. But I think he's going to.
Is Kirk Cousins excited for the chance, or is he like, dang it? Well, that 45 mil was looking really nice as I was playing the clipboard.
I think he's going to go and get paid again. This is a nice little stat stuffer, and he's been chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And to show everybody he still can play, because he can't come back there next year.
Kirk Cousins, it's the how you like me now all over again.
Yeah, how you like that?
How you like me now? How you like that?
I mean, it's I mean, the NFL is crazy. They kind of. Kirk Cousins he's been on the top end of fleecing the Commanders and the Vikings, and he played well to getting the raw end of the deal with the Falcons before he even got on the practice field.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, it's always NFL stuff going on besides the Chiefs, supposed downfall. But that Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey it was sad to see, just because I like Jamar Chase. I like a guy like him that went down to LSU and was overlooked, and he was one of the greatest receivers in this era of all time in college.
Mm-hmm.
One of the top receivers, if not the top receiver going right now in the NFL, to him and Justin Jefferson,
who is also having a rough time right now.
Right. And so and it's frustrating for them, because the receiver, you depend on so many other people,
mm-hmm.
and you depend on the defense too to give you a favorable matchup. And so I understand where you're frustrated, but also you got to understand you're a professional. So, anyways, that's just my little soapbox with the NFL and some inside scoop there.
Foreman for commissioner 2026.
Hey, I can tell you, they wouldn't be playing 18 games, 17 games. Anyways, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Leaves are falling and temperatures are cooling down, but don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Winter leagues begin on December 1st and are open for registration. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate or team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at doubleeagle.golf.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the number one fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers, starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, second segment, 5 o'clock hour. Cover a little NFL football. It's always, the NFL is always like a soap opera, though, Austin. Always something going on. You know
Hashtag this league.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I guess you can't be mad at Abdul Carter. I think I remember, I wasn't on the team, but the Vikings were playing at Tampa Bay on a huge Monday night game. And they had like 3 coaches that overslept just the game.
Whoops.
Yeah. Went down to Maz Venus or something like that, Tampa. So it does happen. Nobody's perfect, but I do think the respect for the game needs to have an uptick, and the respect for the standard needs to be even higher. Austin, I wanted to ask you, man, about that Texas A&M South Carolina game. We got into it just a little bit. And Wednesday we'll do the college football playoffs rankings and stuff like that. But man, when you think about it, Beamer going in up 27 points at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M looks like they had the extension hangover.
Mm-hmm.
And then all hell break loose. Now, is that the end of Beamer? Or the emergence of Mike Elko with the size 5X sweatshirt that he wears? Did you see his thing that he wears? That thing looks like a straight up beach towel over there.
The man's got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, look good, feel good, play good, or maybe wear something incredibly oversized, be comfortable, and play well. I think it would be pretty quick of a hook at South Carolina for Beamer, who's been fine. I mean, Sellers didn't break out maybe the way you wanted. 15 to 30, 246 yards, relatively okay explosiveness, but not the best. Nichols Harbor is fine, maybe not the dude that he was supposed to be or could have been coming out of high school. And when your quarterback doesn't take that next step, there's always going to be some limits on it. Sellers has been fine, just not the potential number one guy that he was talking about coming into the year. Really, now I'm starting to get concerned that maybe there is some Aggie magic, gross as it is to say and think about. I mean, Bama, the way they lost to Oklahoma, it factors into this as well. I think this was an A&M team that took some Michael Secret stuff at halftime, potentially, and found themselves, right? Reed was not good in the first half. You're in desperation mode. South Carolina could never flip that switch back on. If you told me it ended 31-30, wouldn't have been shocked. I guess it would have been more back and forth than Carolina comes out and dominates, especially in College Station, the way that they did. A&M's good. They got enough defense that they found it in the second half. Pitching a second half shutout is impressive. I like Reed. I think he's got some gamer to him. Not great interceptions in the first. The run game wasn't great against South Carolina, but I think they have enough pieces there. I'm just starting to think that, okay, maybe this is A&M's turn.
Yeah, Reed's cold-blooded, and that defense is ferocious.
Yeah.
I'm sure they wanted to tighten some stuff up that, obviously from the beatdown they were getting at in the first half. But if you look at Texas A&M, you got to think, I was willing to stand on the table saying Clemson was going to go undefeated, or potentially could go undefeated.
Yeah.
Here they are. They play Sanford, right? And then they have at Texas. So that's a toss-up game. So the worst they are going to be is what, 11-1?
11-1.
Still going to have a first-round bye in the college football playoffs, most likely.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's say it's A&M Georgia in the title game. Georgia wins. Georgia takes that spot, unless they go. Because here's the thing: you have to assume right now it's Ohio State, Indiana in the Big Ten title game, since they won't face each other. Will that result impact the top two, or does the loser still stay in the top four? Same thing here. That's why tomorrow's rankings are going to be fascinating to see. Does Georgia get the benefit of the doubt, bump up to Alabama's spot at number 4, right behind A&M? And then how much does that result matter? Because you're probably not putting Big Ten 3 there. You're probably, and the only chance I think is, does Texas Tech look impressive enough?
Because the ACC, who has who? Oh, Texas
God
Tech
only
might get
knows.
in there, but Texas, they have to win the Big 10, the Big 12.
And probably look really good doing it.
But here's what seals it for Texas A&M and Georgia gets in if A&M loses in the championship. If Texas A&M ends up undefeated regular season, and it happens to lose to Georgia in the SEC championship, they're in the top 4.
I tend to agree. But then is Georgia 4 or is one loss Tech in there? I would put Texas Tech there if Georgia loses in the SEC championship.
No. Texas A&M loses to Georgia. So I'm saying Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas
3.
A&M,
Would you go SEC champ at 2 by default and drop the Big Ten runner-up?
Yeah. But I just wouldn't put Indiana or Ohio State at 3. That would make you have to, you know what I'm saying?
So it's probably undefeated Big Ten winner at 1, one loss SEC winner at 2.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to SEC 2, Big Ten 2 at 3-4.
Yeah,
unless
it's hard
Tech sneaks up there.
It's hard for me to. I mean, do you believe in Texas Tech?
Dude, that defense is
let me ask
insane.
you this.
Their offense does worry me a little bit, but that defense.
Who makes that defense go? I already know the answer.
I mean, they paid for all the linemen, but Rodriguez is a stud.
Rodriguez, right.
Typical linebacker. Take the side of the linebacker.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe in Texas Tech enough that in 2030 we're still talking about Texas Tech? That's what I mean. That means, here's my question. Now, I have a little inside knowledge on how they beat their team. Now, I shouldn't even be saying it because they need to be 1890. You need to be paying me for this. But do you believe in your perception of their business model 2030? That means it would be sustainable, both financially, culture-wise, coaching-wise, situational-wise, which is schedule. You can't control that.
Yeah.
Right? And perception-wise.
I think that how this season ends will play a big role in how sustainable it will be. I think right now it's fun because it's a splash. You had enough good talent on the team to begin with that you didn't have to buy necessarily, a la Rodriguez, right? Who was there, who was around. Morton stuck around, stuck it out, had a hellified run game the last couple of years as well. I think that if Tech wins the Big 12, gets a first round bye, that excitement can continue. I'm not 100% sold on McGuire. I think he's a good coach. I'm not sure he's a next level coach. When you're only good when you have money, that kind of worries me. He was fine, right? He elevated Texas Tech a little bit, but wasn't setting the world on fire. And credit him to
They were good. They were decent.
they're fine.
Yeah.
They're good, but not this good.
No.
And infusion of money will help anyone. I want to see that he's more than the money. And I do think that even the richest guys, even like a Campbell, if you go for, let's say, 5 more years to 2029, and all you're doing is one and done in the college football playoff, you might throttle down your spending a little bit. If this is all he has to do, this is all he's interested in, and he's going to keep spending, more power to him. But just like we talked about to start the show, Ole Miss. Everyone reaches that point of, where is there something more? If Tech goes on a run and they're in the Final Four, yeah, they'll be good through 2030. If they're one and done this year, fringe team next year, one and done in 2028, that would be then.
Pumped up Colorado.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they play at West Virginia in 2 weeks to end the season 11-1. I would have never thought.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost a barn burner at Arizona State when Arizona State was still rolling.
Was good.
Yeah. Levitt was playing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's sustainable. Only if they continue with the culture and have an uptick on their assistant coaches.
Sure.
Because as the money gets higher, these coaches are going to have to recruit. So you're going to have guys that have boots on the ground that are able to kind of do your job. And that's what happens because that organization is about to get bigger, right?
Yeah.
Now, what they do is this. I shouldn't even be saying this, man. But I'm going to say it anyways. Here's what they do. The 5 stars and the guy that are the guaranteed guys, they pay for those dudes. They skip over the potential guys that are 4-star, and they focus on the mid-level, high-level 3 stars. So essentially, the guys that we need to be superstars, we're going to surround you with guys that we can trust that are going to continue to get better. So everybody's going to level up at the same rate.
That sounds like to me.
So it's efficient.
Yeah.
You get a really good return on your money.
Mm-hmm.
And you save that heartache of, well, nobody else has been able to get them together, but I can. So you don't throw away a lot of money.
That sounds a lot to me like the toughest place to be is 5-7 to 7-5. Because if you're,
what I said.
I'm saying it's just that 3 stars are 4-8 and below.
Mm-hmm.
4 stars are 5-7 to 7-5 on the cusp, 1 or 2 things away from going either way. And 8 and 4 or better. You know what you're getting. You know what you are, what you have to do, like you are a 5-star.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that sounds like to me. Where you have the guys at the 3-star that are hungry enough to keep working, that have the traits, maybe weren't noticed, smaller school, whatever you have. And then on the flip side, you pay for, we know what we're getting. This is surefire in our system.
And I'll take it up a step further. Sometimes the 8 and 4 teams are the fringe 4 stars that are just a 4-star because of the measurables, right? Got all the, look like Tarzan, play like Jane.
Right.
Right. Here's why. Because you could be 8 and 4 for a year or two, but then you fall down to 4 and 8.
Right.
So that's really, you're somewhere in between. So where do you go? 4 and 8, 8 and 4, you're right, 50%. 6 and 6. So that's where, I wonder about them. I think they got to, I like McGuire. I think he's worked his way up. I think he's worked at it, and.
Well, let's frame it this way. You have to look at the competition in the Big 12 as well.
Yes.
Iowa State, sustainable or not? Campbell's still there in 2030.
No.
Kalani Sitake seems to be stable footing.
I think they're always going to be tough.
Okay.
But I think they're at their ceiling right now.
Kenny Dillingham, still there in 2030.
Somebody going to come get him. But he better get out of there quick. Because there's a couple holes in the hull of your boat.
Mm-hmm. Kansas, Leipold's closer to the end than the beginning. Kleiman might be another gear. This might be their year from hell, but are you really worried about them in that way long term? Colorado's about to go through it. Utah, again, Whittingham's closer to the end than the beginning. Arizona, not really scared. Baylor, meh.
Yeah.
So being in that
TCU.
conference, TCU, it should be good, but can you trust them? I don't.
Yeah, the TCU.
Well, Houston, is Willie Fritz going to be there? I mean, he's getting closer to the end than the beginning.
TCU is interesting because the team that you saw against North Carolina is not the team that's playing right now.
No.
And some of it's circumstantial, got some injuries and stuff, but I don't think you're going to get anything sustainable for more than 2 or 3 years anywhere. Unless you're like Georgia or something like that. Because Kirby Smart is the perfect coach age right now. He's been through it, kind of worked his way up, and he's got 20 more years if he wants to.
Yeah.
And he's
So
already,
what's a dynasty then in college football? 5 years, make the playoff 4 times?
that's a serious dynasty. Be in the mix 5 years, make it 3. And obviously a real dynasty would be you have a championship.
Yeah.
And then sprinkle in a
Final Four.
conference championship, and then say you get beat and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like where, Ohio State probably will go in the next 2 or 3 years if Ryan Day stays. They win it this year, it's back to back. Then they get in the mix the next 2 years. That's a dynasty right there. Because if they're So,
without a doubt.
So I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that college football is going to be sustainable financially. Just bleeding donors like that.
Mm-hmm. Someone's going to have to take a pay cut. Not looking like it's going to be the athletes.
It ain't going to be the coaches.
See, that's where I wonder.
Now, the only way that that whole like prove it thing, the contract that came out, is that you're going to get a guy that's never been a head coach. But you're going to mess it up for everybody. So you're going to be that guy that reset the market. Now, you can reset the market for first-time Power 4 coaches, right? And that's kind of what Indiana did. They were paying Kirk Cignetti 4, then they went up to 8, now they're up to 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's more than proved it. He seems like he's sustainable. But coming in and coaching for $1 million, and then if you win 8 games in your first year, then you get another 4, that's not happening.
Why wouldn't it happen? Who's most against that?
Why would you take that contract knowing that you already know that they want you? So why would you do that?
Your shot's your shot.
Yeah, but you already know your shot. If they're wanting you, other teams are wanting you. So you're going to have options. All right? Why would you want to be the guy that resets the market? Unless you end up getting lucky like Saquon, taking a $2 million less on the franchise, and then having a GM that's okay with you going into the interdivision rival, and then you're going to not only you go to the Eagles, you win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen.
Well, it's always a risk. But
again,
is there a coach out there that's going to be the missing piece for one of these teams, right? These schools are going to talk themselves into whoever.
Yeah.
Each coach is going to talk themselves into, oh, yeah, I'm the guy. I'm all they need. I can make it work there. And then the results are completely different.
But here's the problem. Are you only hiring him because he's willing to take this funny money contract? Or are you hiring him because you're okay with him taking it, knowing that he's going to do it? You're going to support him 1,000% to the moon and back, knowing that when you have to pay him next, you're going to be paying him back pay and then future pay. Because what could possibly happen is like, all right, the guy that we really wanted, he's somewhere else. We can hire this guy for the cheap for a couple of years, and then we'll give the big contract to the guy that we really want. Like a whole.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game to play.
Right. So if I'm that coach, unless the contract is pretty sweet, the buyout's pretty good, I'm not taking less money up front.
Or at the very least, I'm getting those incentives worked into my contract. So when I do win, you will still be paying.
Yeah.
You can sell it to your fan base and your donors that, hey, look how cheap we're getting this guy. And I'm sure behind the scenes they would read the fine print and whatnot. Yeah. But maybe that's the future. More incentive laden, where coaches can still get their money because they're not going to take these big jobs without it. But schools, with some of the buyouts that they've had to pay, they want to try to protect themselves as well. So maybe if they can either offer the incentives or do the inverse of what you're saying, offer a little bit more upfront to get the guy there.
And then the base salary is that. But I would ask you this. The buyouts are high.
Mm-hmm.
The buyouts weren't the problem when you hired them. So it's really not the problem. Really, the problem is
they didn't win games.
You didn't win games. But then are you making irrational decisions, impulsive decisions based on what everybody is thinking and doing around you?
Right.
So now you're worried about that money.
Because someone told you should be worried
about
it. Yeah.
And they weren't telling you to think about the buyout. They were just telling you to do it. Now, the buyout only becomes whole, meaning in James Franklin's case or anybody else's case, is if they never coach again.
Yeah.
And a lot of these, Brian Kelly, I think if he doesn't get it this cycle, which he probably won't because of what the LSU stuff is going on, in a year he'll get a job.
Yeah.
He'll get out there on the circuit. He'll be a new guy, and he'll get back. He'll get back in the game. So really, LSU isn't on the hook for the whole $50 million.
Right. They are for now.
But also, I would say the way that you handle your buyouts also will probably dictate whether you get a lot of callbacks from the coaches that you want.
Mm.
So if you're a coach, do you really want to sign up for LSU?
Mm.
Do you really want to sign up for Florida, where they make you fire your offensive line coach, make you fire your defense and line coach and D coordinator, and then make you hire the guys or bring the guys up during the season, and then they fire you right after?
Right.
I mean, there's things that I think people got to think about, because if you're getting these contracts, man, I know coaches get a lot of money. I do. I mean, it's somewhat out of control, players included.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're asking the coaches to take incentive-laden deals, then you're going to have to ask the players to. Then the players are going to have to unionize, and that ain't going to happen.
Remember how much time we dedicated on this show and others talking about how close it could have been around the corner if they wanted to get paid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. If it didn't happen then,
right?
What makes you think it's going to happen anytime soon?
What was it, Kane Coulter?
Kane Coulter.
Kane
Yeah.
Coulter.
Mm-hmm.
He had it all. He had it. He did the research, too.
Yeah.
Old Northwestern. Went and talked to, you remember he talked to some unions, and was it the train unions or whatever?
Yeah.
Well,
Dartmouth men's basketball unionized at one point.
Man, just imagine now people are just getting paid freely.
What would you say? Stay blessed?
Yeah, stay. They getting blessed, boy. I ain't even mad at them to get that money, man. Listen, if they're knucklehead enough to pay you, collect the check.
CTC.
But biggest part, earn the check.
That part.
Then you will collect the chizeks.
Plural.
And get
Plural.
the check. And get the check. That's the NFL check. Anyway, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, for our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. Get 12% off parts the day of your local event. Can't make it? You can still save 10% on parts and 20% off planter parts December 1st through the 12th. It's the best time of the year to stock up on oil and filters. Grab John Deere gifts for under the tree and schedule your service inspections. Don't miss out. These deals only come around once a year at Landmark Implement. Find your nearest expo at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
It's the holiday season,
Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Don't be fooled by the typical holiday ads this year. A new car for your significant other is a dream, but not a likely reality. Why not upgrade the current car you have with a detail? This year's hot item is a gift certificate from Nebraska Auto Detail to make your car look and smell fully refreshed again. We all have clutter and we all make messes, but it doesn't have to stay like that. Give the gift of a clean car this holiday. Buy your certificate at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call 402-601-5086 for an appointment today.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, old school. Had to stop in there by DP, talking a little wrestling, a little grappling. Rather talk about wrestling than the Cowboys Raiders game tonight. This is a pillow fight. This is a Monday Night Football with two of the satellite type of franchises, and nobody wants to watch them play.
Tough scenes.
Yeah. It's the battle of quarterbacks that are trying to hang on to the last leg. Is Geno playing?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because we know Dak going to do his thing.
I'm checking my fantasy score because I had nobody in the early window yesterday.
Yeah.
This is a slobber knocker, if you will. My opponent scored 66 points and he is done. I am behind by 6. I have Dak, Javonte, and Brandon Aubrey going.
Oh, you should have won.
So, if I don't win, something went terribly wrong.
Man, since we're just talking a little fantasy, we do this little like pick games.
Mm-hmm.
This dude Dave from Renew. I'm just telling you, man. This dude, man. I gotta give a shout out to my boy. I hope he's listening, man.
Shout out, Dave. Hope you're feeling
dude,
okay.
Man, he's a smooth operator. He got me into this thing on a humbug. I thought it was just friendly.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
It cost me about 85 pounds in steaks, and then now we're back in it. So I'm back. I'm pretty on good footing, right? This dude, he sends them out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking and I'm traveling, so I just do mine real quick. That's the problem. I need to think about it. He just went opposite day. He's making a move, right? Because that's
gotta make up ground.
Yeah, he's making a move.
Uh-huh.
And if everything hit, he was going to end in first place. Well, listen, this dude hit like every single one.
21.
And the text messages that he was sending just came up early in the morning. I think it was a Friday night game. It was a Friday night game, right? Let me see this dude. This dude.
Would that have been Clemson, Louisville?
Yes.
Yeah. Cha-ching!
He said, anybody have Clemson? No.
I did.
This dude, man, I got to give it to him. He got swag when it comes to it, and he the funniest dude out there, and he gets it cracking. And he made a move like Return of the Jedi on us. And now he's leading. He's ahead of me by 3, and he's ahead by 1 by, of all people, Jake Sorensen is doing better at pick 'em. That's only because he got that dude that comes on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually a conflict of interest. But this dude, Dave, I mean, he picked Duke.
Future ACC champion Duke.
Yeah. Then he says like this, hey, Raph, did anyone have Arkansas? Hey.
Like he doesn't know the answer.
Like he don't know the answer. And he know everybody else had opposite. And it hit. That's shout out to my boy, man. He's doing all right now. So he's definitely back on his feet because he's definitely, I mean, he's leapfrogged Jake. I know he's listening right now.
Must be nice.
Anyways, happy Monday on the Penn State. We are Huskers. Break you off here in about 4 or 5 days. Jay Foreman, my man Austin Norman. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
When it comes to concrete, Stevenson